Danza Kuduro! Ladies and
And
gentlemen, welcome back to the Games XP Championship Season 4, Week 8 between Furious Gents and No F's Given. My name is Hickory. With me is Mr. Skyson. We've gone through one series. My voice is still here. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
There's the hype that I like people to bring with me. Yep. Here we are in the draft. We're a little bit late. We're just going into it. We lost 3 bands, 4 bands, 5 bands, 10 bands from the side of Furious Gents. We lost a couple bands from the sides of Furious Gents. I think it was 3. We'll just have to see how it goes. As a Pantheon is banned from the side of NFG. Since we can't talk about bands from Furious Gents, what do you want to see from NFG?
Do I want to see Hottie Williams? Of course, the Pantheon ban, definitely not a bad decision on their end. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, it is the okay. Malzahar ban makes sense. Definitely want to take that away, but they're gonna pick that over the Morgana, of course. The Morgana ban is just the typical, anti-FG ban that you want to take out. You want to really pick that as long as it's pool. He's had several great performances on Morgana. It's been one that he's really been known to, perform well on. They are going to take the Morgana, so they are going to only lose 2 bans here. And most interestingly, we're going to see what I assume is going to be Rebel Fox here in the top lane and Skyland Seer in the support role for the Furious Gents, which is
I didn't know Skyland Seer played.
Yeah, I would say we've seen Rebel Fox play support in previous games, and we see Skyland Seer play top now, I believe, for 2 weeks for this team.
Well, I mean, sometimes you need to swap things around. We'll see. Zaya has picked up for the sign of Scamander. Ash picked up for Royal.
The first rotation Ash. I mean, I guess since they have the Zaya picked up, they were free to pick the AD carry, but deciding that early that Ash is what you want to go with on your side is very unique, we'll say. What are they going to supplement that with?
I'm saying Braum. Just because I'm pulling things out of my posterior. But Rakan is picked up to keep away the lovers duo. It's going to be a lovers quarrel in the bot lane. As Leona is hovered? Maybe is for Penguin?
I want to see Leona here, honestly.
We shall see in 10 seconds if he wants to go for it. Jace for Penguin is
he's a very professional Alistar player. But
yeah, I was about to say he likes the Alistar, but he doesn't go for the Leona. Jace for Penguin played a pretty monstrous Leona actually just a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Last time I casted him, I think it was on a Leona. But now that we have the bot lane completely locked in, everything can come up, and Azizi for the NFG mid is looking to pick himself up his mid lane, which is going to be Galio. Blind.
Not a bad blind mid to take. Honestly, Galio is a very reliable, sturdy pick, and even if you sort of pick yourself into a bad mid lane matchup, you put yourself in a good position to, help out those team fights. Galio, a very strong presence in team fights, no matter what you want to do with him.
Yeah, with the Leona locked down, the Galio ultimate can come in pretty easily. Orianna picked up for Songless in return. That means we're still missing both top laners and the Younglers, as a top lane Scion is banned out for the side of Furious Gents. What does NFG need to finish off with their bans?
Nothing, because they don't get 2 bans.
Yeah, that's why I said that, because,
What do they need? Well, I don't know. They're definitely gonna have the Scion taken away, and I think if they're looking to take away a jungle ban, they might target the Zac on the side of Zayfrey, because I know that's been a very proficient jungler for him. But if they're looking to target Harbinger, I think we might see the Aatrox ban next.
That's a lot of top lane bans if it is to be the Aatrox. Is Kled still a lot of top lane. Although interestingly enough, every single ban that Furious Gents picked can flex to the mid lane at various points in the meta.
Sion mid would be pretty scary. But...
It's Sion mid with banner. That was 100%.
Oh my god! Don't talk about the banner.
Banner of Command. That was a great meta. Just like Ardent Censor and Weedwick. Those are my just favorite. Oh, you know what else was really great? What was it called? Top lane with Darius.
It was League of Cleavers.
No, it was like season 2016, season 6 maybe at Worlds, maybe season 5 at Worlds. Juggernaut. That was amazing. Yeah. That was just such a exciting, well-balanced, and proficiently designed meta that I really hope something similar comes up. As a Nocturne is picked up for Hottie Williams, and looks like an Aurelia kind of hovered probably for Harbinger. This guy was probably going to go mid. So the final pick in the jungle coming out of NFG, and a counter pick, I guess, for Rebel Fox, with all those bans going top lane as well. Kind of makes sense that you're hedging your bets in the top lane. Let's see what the jungler is going to be. I've seen a lot of Camille Galio, but it is going to be a Poppy. That's probably a Poppy jungle, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely a Poppy jungle.
Could be Poppy support, but then Leona wouldn't really be much of a jungler.
I've juggled Leona a couple times in my day. It is pretty fun, but not something you really want to facilitate a team with. However, the
Malphite. Interesting. So what I'm noticing is Poppy has this interesting ability that lets her not let people dive in a certain area. And 3 of the members of Furious Gentz like to dive into people on a certain area. Is this Poppy going to turn the tide of the battle, or is it just kind of down the list on what Zayfrey was able to pick up?
Yeah, I definitely think that the Poppy pickup, looking now at the the composition that Furious Gentz put together here, you definitely have the ability to stop a very front-facing threat on the side of Furious Gentz and not just let a Malphite say, "Oh, I see S Commander. Now I'm going to immediately ult in." Zayfrey has the ability to stop that off with the Poppy. I believe that the ability can only stop either stops one instance of a dash, or it stops one from each champion when you activate it.
I'm pretty certain it's one from each champion, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up to fact check. But while I talk about that,
definitely worth looking into.
It's important that we see, very interestingly, looking through the, I talk about a lot the sort of layers of engage that your team has, and aside from what Poppy can stop and what happens, you have the Malphite ult, you have the Nocturnal ult, which Nocturnal sort of comes from nowhere. Malphite ult a little more easily pronounced, but having the Orianna behind that. So you have the Malphite Orianna, you have the Nocturne Orianna. There's a lot of ball delivery.
Even Rakan Orianna.
Right, even Rakan Orianna, which is another timeless one. There's several, and then, Ash Arrow itself is also a solid engage. So Furious Gentz have put together several ways to start a fight on their terms, and I talk about a lot. Fighting on your own team's terms. You can start off an Ash Arrow, you can start off Rakan, Malphite Nocturne, or finding an Orianna, even a clean Orianna from Songus himself. So there's lots of ways that Furious Gentz are going to start a fight here, and it's really going to fall back on NFG to. Other than finding maybe a Leona ultimate or Poppy finding somebody straight against the wall, it's going to be more on them to respond to what is going to happen to them. They have the Poppy being able to stop a couple of these dashes. You have the Galio ultimate. You have the Leona ultimate to lock people up. You have the Xayah ult to get away from things that might be coming towards you, and then Harbinger, of course, looking to find his element of engage on Aurelia. So I think a lot of this is going to be NFG playing on the back foot. Here, they're going to be looking to not get picked off by so much of the engage that's coming forward from Furious Gentz, and letting themselves, let the fight slow down to their pace, find the Aurelian Poppy into the back line, get the Galio ultimate to pop off, and it'll definitely be something they're trying to build in their favor. And you see it a lot in these comps that S Commander likes to build and likes to have on his team. He has the Galio, Leona protection, you have the Aurelia running distraction as another chaotic threat, and Poppy really being able to play the offense or the defense. So it'll be interesting to see if S Commander, now moving from Furious Gentz to NFG, just a little interesting narrative created here as he moves from team to team playing against his former team, if they're able to rally around him and get him to flourish on the Xayah, or if he's going to get picked off by the likes of the Nocturne Malphite and the other side of the Lovers duo here.
So assuming things go well for either team, which of the Lovers is coming away with the win this game?
I think that the Furious Gents have set themselves up very nicely to, start fights from many different angles on their terms, and I believe they have got the draft here put away very nicely, I will say.
Alrighty, guys, you heard it first. Furious Gents will hopefully pull out the win here, but we'll see if NFG can turn things around after a word from our sponsors.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Summoners, welcome back to the GXPC Season 4. It's the first match between Furious Gents and NFG. I'm Hickory. With me is Skyson for the first match of the series. Not the first match of the day, but speaking of, you should definitely put in your bets before we get any further with the double 5-man stack coming on the totally wrong sides of the map. Put your bets into the chat. We want to know who you're voting for. I don't know how you bet, but something along the lines of something. Skyson, do you know how to bet?
I believe you bet with exclamation mark bet team name point amount. I've bet 100 times and couldn't tell you because I don't remember. But there's definitely a betting method, and I'm really just enjoying the movements here from both teams who are never going to find each other.
Yeah, it's actually really kind of awesome to watch them just totally.
Just the hesitation, just who's gonna end up where, and realize, oh, are we gonna run into somebody? Oh, we're gonna get him. No, you're gonna get nothing.
Well, NFG definitely took the win there, even if it's just because of the ward that they put down deep into the Furious Gents side of the jungle. The ward kind of in between Red Buff and Raptors. I call that an invade win, as Furious Gents did not invade even at all. They actually were just stacked mid lane. I'm not really certain what the plan was there. But otherwise, everything's going to be pretty normal here. Plus the, ward, of course. Who do you think's going for the first blood?
I think we're going to see... I don't know. It's rough to talk about Nocturne because Nocturne, the pre-6 Nocturne is not something that facilitates a gank very easily on his own. You're not going to see a Nocturne just run somebody down unless they're, pretty committed deep to a gank or have a lane that has a lot of CC to facilitate it for them. So we may see something from maybe Zayfrey and Harbinger in the top lane. The Poppy, Aurelia do a nice job of, chaining together that CC and putting a lot of that damage down. onto the Malphite perhaps, but I'm thinking other than that, we may see something in the bot lane. We may see Skyland Seer try to get something going off on this Rakan.
Well, a level 2 Flawless Duet does hit on a Rebel Fox, plus the Conqueror proc is not going to be enough for a kill, but maybe we're just going to see a solo kill this game for First Blood. We don't know just yet, but I do see what you mean with a pre-6 Nocturne not being maybe the most gank-heavy champion, but he is pretty scary in the jungle pre-level 6 with the fear and the Q boost damage. You never know, somebody can walk into him and look at him funny.
So especially gaining the attack speed off of fearing a target, it makes him a lot harder to, dual 1v1 in the jungle. And Poppy, not really a strong DPS champion in the jungle. You kind of look for the wall stun into the Q and sort of pop somebody off. But if Nocturne's able to stick to her, then I think the fight will really go in his favor.
Yeah. Well, do ghosts have genders? I don't know. That's definitely a question later in the evening. But almost a full clear coming from both junglers. No ganks, no scuttle crabs even, actually, from either Honey Williams or Zayfrey. Although Zayfrey might be looking mid here a little bit. A nice early ward from Songless is going to see him out that way as he goes under his Raptors. I guess Honey Williams ended up with a faster clear then, since he has already backed and is getting back onto the map, plus a few items. Last game, unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess we saw double Mountain Drake start out both games. This time we're starting out with an Ocean Drake, probably not as hotly contested, I would say, as the previous game. What do you think?
I don't know. I like what Ocean Drake offers, especially to these sort of extended laning phases where people are looking to trade. You see a lot of, you saw a lot of in the mid lane, Songless and Azizi trading a little bit of damage in this mid lane, and having the Ocean Drake on your side for sort of the downtime to these consistent but not quite, all the time trades. It'll definitely put it in your favor.
Oh, an engagement in the bot lane, but Honey Williams is here. I don't think he can really get on this, though. Jace for Penguin kind of lost the aftershock, not a lot of damage, not afterwards. Rebel Fox is trading with Harbinger. Rebel Fox gives up on the fight, even though he had the early health advantage, and it goes a little bit in the way of Harbinger, who is already 10 CS up. I think it's a little bit unfortunate that Holly Williams was just a little bit closer there. Maybe could have gotten the Flash Fear or something like that and gotten the first blood. But everyone's just, it kind of like the beginning of the previous series. Everyone's just kind of feeling themselves out. You mentioned we are 8 weeks into the season, so every team has played each other. But you change day by day, week by week. Sometimes literally just the player's different, or even the team is completely different. And sometimes,
I think that looking at these two teams, I think only two people here that are the same are Zayfrey and Jace for Penguin from the last time these two teams played. Well, S-Commander technically, no. I don't think he was the same. I don't think NFG played and he was on the roster. I don't remember.
I don't even remember casting S-Commander on this team. So a couple.
Right. I know Jace for Penguin and Zayfrey were here. That's about it. I think everybody else knew.
I'm definitely very accustomed to Jace for Penguin being the support for this team, as I've tried not to butcher his name many a time. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean, is that you don't exactly know what your lane assignment's going to pan out to be. As a root does hit on 2 Royal, I think Jace Penguin's just kind of showing what's what. It's kind of like playing, like Morgana. Sometimes you hit the roots just for the sake of hitting the roots more so than really getting the kill. You're just, hey, don't sleep on me. I will hit those thresh hooks if you're doing your Afromu impersonation. But nothing coming just yet. Just kind of looking down the list at some summoners and keystones and things like that. Double TP coming out for the side of NFG. What do you make of that?
It's a lot of something you definitely see a lot on the Galio. Azizi definitely looking to play for the team here, looking to have that global presence of the Galio ultimate, as well as having the ability to return to lane in case something goes Ari. And you see Songless, of course, has that barrier. So Azizi is really able to shuffle off to another lane with the Galio ultimate, and before Songless can really make a huge push on this, Oriana can get himself to another lane with the teleport very quickly and prevent any structural damage from going on.
These are two pretty far-reaching teams, I kind of feel like. Between the Galio ult, the Ashe ult, the Nocturne ult. I actually love global ults. They're my favorite part of this game. Really, just kind of anytime that there's a global ult, it's so fun for me.
Do you remember the beautiful TF Shen Nocturne meta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Season 1 or season 2?
It was like early deep season 2.
Yeah, I remember trying to kill Shen. I don't think it really went too well, but I do remember that Paranoid does come in on to S Commander. He doesn't flash it the wrong way, actually, and he is going to get first blooded by Skylancer. Unfortunately, I think he just misclicked his flash entirely. Flax does commit his TP there, interestingly, as first blood is picked up on the first Paranoia. That feels very, very good as a Nocturne. Feels extremely worth. And Flash is down for S Commander. Hopefully they did pay attention to that, as well as they flashed down for Jason Payne. But that does give Harbinger even more top lane. When he was already a decent CS ahead, he's now 30 CS. Only 8 minutes in the game. Honey Williams will be not get the kill on a ZZ. He's a pretty tanky boy there in the mid lane. I doubt either of these towers are going down really this early in the game. Wow, actually a great route. Here comes the Galio ultimate, but it actually gets canceled. A huge stun from Jace for Penguin. He got baited there a little bit as his ZZ is 1v1ing versus Honey Williams. Honey Williams must have gotten the fear off, I think, before Hero's entrance did pull off, and that really baited Jades for Penguin there, unfortunately. Harbinger was able to pick up the first brick in the top lane, giving him just such a massive, disgusting gold lead this early in the game. But the tower is going to be returned, and about a 1k lead for the Sign of Fury's Gentz with their extended strong bot lane play.
Yeah, that was absolutely all the things that Furious Gentz were looking for with their comp. I mean, it's so typical. Sorry. That when you have,
we're going to be able to pick up the dragon here as well. Actually, a really great extended play in the bot lane from Furious Gentz. It kind of looked like it was just going to be a kill or two, but when Rebel Fox stayed, it actually did open up a lot for them. Still only about a 1,000 gold lead, but 2 of those assists are on Royal, plus the tower gold, plus the first Drake. And you know what? Actually, Rebel Fox isn't actually that far behind in gold as I kind of thought he was originally.
Yeah, I would say picking up the kill for him definitely put a decent amount of money in his pocket down to the CS differential. But again, as I was saying earlier, when you have a comp that, especially Nocturne as a champion, you're really looking to get as much value as you can out of each time, you know, your ultimate's off cooldown. And, you know, finding something as valuable as that first blood gold onto S Commander, and especially getting it into the point. And Jason Penguin really looking to turn up the aggression a little bit, and great on Hottie Williams to, you know, it gave the entrance of Azizi really stopping a potential 3v3 over there. And once he was out of the factor, it really turned bad for the side of NFG, as Furious Gentz still had all of their forces there to, you know, return the fight.
Ooh, so Flare does hit mid lane. Songless does have flash. He hits the shockwave. Actually, is going to get him out as Paranoia does come in. Leona and Azizi are pretty tanky, though. Not really sure about the Paranoia. Maybe just to kind of help disengage. What I was going to mention is that Jace Penguin, who just hit a Solar Flare, hit a massive 3-man Solar Flare in that bot lane. That with the hero's interest on top of, I mean, you mentioned a 3v3. That might have just been a triple kill, honestly, in the bot lane. That Hottie Williams really kind of, I almost want to say solo shut down. Kill didn't go off in the mid lane, though. Very well played by Songus, who saved his flash and his shockwave until really kind of the last minute. But nothing too much so far after that original bot lane play.
Yeah, I would say really important that he saved that flash for after he sort of disoriented the Leona and threw him off of him, so they wouldn't be able to stick in melee range after using those skills to be able to get out of there. And of course, Hottie Williams trying to ooh,
an engagement, and actually the Ash Arrow does hit onto JS for Penguin. Hottie Williams able to pick up the kill on S Commander pretty easily. He might get another kill, double kill for him onto JS for Penguin. I think Zephyr should be able to get out. Oh, nice! Ultimate from Rebel Fox. He does have the flash. He does flash on to Harbinger, who maybe
got the Q move
gets
speed.
away. No, there is no tower for him to get away. Rebel Fox wins the 1v1 after getting out-traded over and over again. Who cares about 30 CS when you can just 1v1 your opponent? Very well done. I guess Harbinger must have thought he was going to flawless duet on the Unstoppable Force or something like that. I'm not sure. Pretty bad trade for him, and actually it looks like Skylancer wants to continue this fight, but he's just about the production crew, the management crew. I mean, is that even legal?
We love Sky. Oh, no.
Big shockwave in the mid lane. Paranoia is popped onto S Commander. GXPC not able to get him shut down by the side of Azizi. The solar flare hits onto Songless. He does not have flash. He does not have shockwave. Flash forward from GXPC trying to get the stun up. They might get another kill onto Azizi here. The Winds of War do pick up a third kill for the Galio in the mid lane, and amazingly, S Commander was able to get out of all of it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, NFG is really looking to make some moves here. I mean, they're just a little bit of miscalculations, it seems, on the side of Furious Gentz here, but
they do have the Ash Arrows. Skylancer goes in once again. I don't believe he has his ultimate. There's the Ash Arrow on to the probably one of the tankiest people on the team of NFG, and plus the Doran shield. Azizi gets the rest of his teammates out alive and unscathed. Looks like he's building for the Rod of Ages, a little bit more damage-oriented for Azizi. Ooh, the Flawless Duet does not hit. The Rift Herald barely goes off. Charmed is Harbinger. I want to say that Hottie Lim's going to pick the kill, but I want to say that Zion might be a little bit upset that Aurelia's hawking on her man. As the mid lane tower does go down to the Rift Herald, might get a second charge here. A lot of it. Okay, that was just a visual bug. We're okay. Charge goes off. Shelly knows where she is. She hasn't got early onset Alzheimer's, and the engagement of Jay's Penguin does not go off.
Zayfrey?
But actually, Zayfrey's trying to get a kill here. Here comes the heroes and. People, there might be another knockup. And Azizi is just in the middle of three members right now. Kill for the side of Azizi, kill for the side of GXPC. Rebel Fox lost up here as Commander trying to pick up another kill. And actually, I wonder kind of if Rebel Fox is going to be able to walk out here. I don't think he is. He does get the command shield. There's a shockwave. Songless gets a free kill. But another engagement in the mid lane as Commander trades his life for, looks like Hottie Williams. Songless trying to finish off this fight. Rebel Fox was able to live the whole way. Command attack, command distance. Doran shield taunts up onto Songless. And Harbinger, who started off the fight dead, finally about 50 seconds later returns to the fight to finish it up. Almost a minute later.
Yeah, definitely majorly important that Azizi was able to stay alive for such a long majority of that fight, getting off that beautiful hero's entrance at the very beginning off of Zayfrey, who made a very interesting play to, get into the core of the team, go for that ultimate knockup that really gave Azizi the time to show up with the hero's entrance, and put a huge dent into the side of the Gents as NFG really got in there and started the fight off. And Hottie Williams trying to do his best to, find the back line of that, but Jace for Penguin also doing an excellent job of both finding the initiates off of the solar flares as well as sticking to the back to really peel off these consistent threats that are coming at S Commander and crew.
Jay is for Penguin has a 100% kill participation this game, but I was noticing Zayfrey just kind of waltzed into that fight. He didn't really flash or anything for it, and it looked like Furious Gentz just kind of let him walk onto them, allowing him to get the Keeper's Verdict, just the single kind of pop-up. Then you're right, that kind of snowballed into the hero's entrance and the rest of the fight afterwards. Maybe a little bit more awareness needs to be mentioned. However, was Songless even in that fight until the end with the nice?
No, I don't think he came in till near the end of that fight. And I mean, I don't think the Gents were expecting a fight to even start at that time. I think that the Poppy just kind of.
Ooh, there's the Paranoia onto S Commander. He only has his heal shot. This should be a kill. 3 for 1. Hottie Williams. Commander 2 for 0 as the TP is coming in for Azizi, I believe. Keeper's Verdict knocks away. I don't think this fight is going any further. However, a 2-for-0 plus the Cloud Drake and a probably pretty easy defense on this mid lane turret. Really nice engagement from the ult. Oh, nice flash forward from Hadi Williams. That was beautiful. He's going to get the kill on to Azizi, but Harbinger turns it around. 1 kill onto Songless, but all of a sudden Hadi Williams comes up with a double. Royal comes up with another kill pretty easily. That's an ace for the side of Furious Gentz.
That was exactly what they wanted on to Azizi. That was just smart. Furious Gentz is absolutely coming together, and we are seeing the power of their roster just absolutely working. And Hadi Williams, I've talked about and lorded about as a jungler who's very proactive and looking for, these playoffs. And Nocturne is just such a great champion to really, start these fights up and really dive into the backline. And you just saw S-Commander wasn't even able to make an answer for Hadi Williams, just diving in on him while the rest of the team was making fights sort of off the rest of the map on the side.
They have really had S-Commander's number this game. He's died twice since the last time he flashed. In the previous 5 minutes, or less than 5 minutes, really, since his flash has been on cooldown, Hadi Williams has ulted on him twice now. And gotten the kill twice, actually, although the first time there was a return kill. But I believe Anne would probably say something like Hadi Williams is smurfing, I think is the word. I'm not really familiar with that. I'm not really familiar with that word, honestly, personally. I don't know what a smurf is. I've never been a smurf. However, I think that's the word he likes to use when it comes to people like Hadi Williams going 7-2 so quickly in this game. And unfortunately, Jason Penguin loses 100% kill participation. No longer a smurf anymore. Easy peasy. Is Rebel Fox going to 1v1 again, you think? Not right now, but just in general.
I think once he finishes the...
Ooh. But there's Paranoia onto him. No flash again. He doesn't get away. Solar Flare hits onto 2 under the tower. Nice stopwatch. Here comes a hero's entrance. Mashes down onto Hadi Williams' head. Here's the taunt as well. Gets a double kill for him. Harbinger trying to clean up this fight. Royal might be left out to dry here. Does not get a single kill traded back. Azizi with the triple kill off of that great hero's entrance. Very, very well played. A little bit over aggressive. I guess Hadi Williams isn't smurfing after all. But S-Commander did die for the 3rd time with his flash down, which, I guess that's something, right?
Yeah, we are really looking to see Furious Gentz here give S-Commander the proper send-off from the team. And definitely, maybe a little bit of overcommit on the side of Hadi Williams. I don't think they wanted to go that deep to, pick off the already 1-4 Xayah. But at the same time, they found what they wanted. They gave a little bit more than they needed to Azizi.
Taunt on Rebel Fox. He's pretty tanky, though. Let's see if he wants to go in, though. I can't imagine that he really does. Counts right back, flash forward onto him. Quickly, he does try and block the damage. Hadi Williams returned the favor a little bit later. And you're right. I mean, S-Commander is getting bullied by his... previous team a little bit. So is Harbinger, though. The Harbinger is actually only 2-4 as the Baron is started at 2 minutes and at 10 seconds. We'll see how this goes. The jungler is still alive for the side of NFG. Zayfrey does not have flash, though. It could be a bait. They're going to take a lot of damage here. Paranoia's pop. Wow. Great ultimate for JS for Penguin. It's going to turn this fight on its head. But actually, a lot of damage is coming back from the side of Furious Gentz. Charm onto 1, onto 2. Hadi Williams needs to stay alive here as he does have the... Whoa! That's a lot of damage from Azizi. Azizi is so strong now. He gets a double kill with the Doran's Doran's shield. He gets a triple kill. He maybe finishes off the fight. I don't think... I gotta imagine Song is dead here. Oh, does get the shutdown, though, onto Azizi. That's a really big shutdown, actually. About an 8-kill shutdown. Baron turned... off, but a 2 for 5 for the side of NFG. That was a very early Mr. Nasher.
Yeah, I think that Furious Gentz, I don't want to say they bit off more than they could chew there, but they definitely did not really assess the threat level that could still come out from the NFG crew. And Jays with Penguin finding that incredible Leona ultimate there on the backside of onto FG to really stop them from getting the response follow-up, as we then saw, everybody else on the team pour in. And again, Azizi just coming up with one great fight after the other. He is now 9-2 on this Galio, and it's really moving forward as he's becoming an incredibly bulky threat here as he's going to finish into one another Magic Resistance item, but we're going to see them looking at it again.
Yeah, they're going for the Baron once again, but Jason Penguin is Commander way farther away. Penguin does pop onto a pretty tanky Azizi. He pops the Zhonya's Shockwave onto him and him alone, but very, very tanky. The side of Fury's Gentz just blowing up as all of NFG run into them. Solar Flare does not hit. That's a double kill for Harbinger, a single kill for JS Penguin, a single kill for Azizi, and a perfect ace for the side of NFG, standing on top of the Baron. In fact, they're going to turn things right around, and the double Baron attempt from Furious Gentz has bit them in the posterior twice in a row. That's Harbinger. Harbinger, he gets away. He's fine. He's fine. It's okay. We're just trolling. As the Baron is going to go down for free for the side of Furious Gentz. I feel like these paranoias have just been a little too early.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling the trigger. I mean, he has a lot of damage on this Nocturne. As you see, he's built the Dustblade, the Warrior Enchant, but he's going into what looks like the Guardian Angel next.
Yeah.
But problem is they put themselves kind of far back going into the Galio, who has so much of the ability to, absorb so much damage. And going in, and from the HP that Hottie Williams was at when he went into the Galio, it really just wasn't a safe play for him. And it's becoming much more of a problem now on the side of Furious Gentz to just enter the side of NFG and really say, hey, we can start a fight off Nocturne. They really have to play into the power that Songless has on this Orianna. They really have to get, a Malphite Orianna combo, and they have to be hitting more people on NFG's side than just the Galio, because you can throw around a Galio in a fight as much as you want. You're not going to take him down very quickly at this point. And if he gets on top of your team, then you have several problems to answer. As we actually saw Harbinger go from, 2-4 to now 5-4 on this rally.
Yeah, and Azizi is 10-2-10. He's been part of 20 of 21 kills and has 3 items at 24 minutes in the game, which is utterly insane for a mid laner. As a bot lane is getting sieged up, I just kind of want to see what it'd be like if it was LeBlanc now with 10-2-10 and 3 items. I mean, Galio's fun, but geez.
Red numbers everywhere.
Yeah. Bot lane tower goes down almost instantly to the Baroned up NFG. They're looking for the mid lane. Who cares about split pushing? And you're right, Harbinger was really getting pretty bullied pretty hard by Rebel Fox and just the rest of the crew. And
Also,
he's 5-4.
He's the highest CS in the game. So even while
Paranoia is pop, maybe just to get big shockwave onto 3. Paranoia finally comes in, but a great ultimate from Zayfrey saves the team. He gives his life.
Wow.
He saves the Baron for much longer. That Keeper's Verdict was immaculate.
Yeah, Zayfrey definitely pulled out the exact ultimate that he needed there to prevent a lot more casualties on the side, because that combo of the Malphite into Orianna ultimate, which, the classic double R buttons, really just tore a huge hole. And I just talked about that. You want to find these picks. Oh,
flash forward from Harbinger. He's tired of this low kill score, but Azizi's here. He wants to turn things around. I think we're just chilling. No, it's fine.
Yeah, again, they are really looking to make fight. They're trying to pull a lot of the Azizi's time to one side or the other. If Furious Gentz can get to the point where they're creating 2 different fights, if they're catching NFG split off from these fights, where they can make them happen in 2 avenues and pull Azizi away from one spot to the other, then the fight that doesn't have Azizi in it is definitely the one that NFG is going to be the FG is going to be way stronger in right now. So they kind of distracted him by pulling him up to that individual fight near the top and tried to pick off Jays with Penguin there. It didn't quite work out.
It's a lot of Magic Shred coming out of Songless, I'm noticing. Wondering what his 3rd item is going to be. Maybe a Morel, I'm not sure. We're going to have to see what the Blasting Wand turns into. Kind of feel like Azizi is also thinking kind of the same thing as well. Maybe I need a little bit more damage. I just kind of wonder now if the Adaptive Helm and the Zhonya is... I can't tell if it's behooving him or hurting him with how much damage he's been able to output. I always kind of wonder if he could do more. Or, I mean, it's not like he's not doing well by any means.
Well, I mean, I think the boon of what he's brought to this team so far, and the reason that he's been catching out at the end of so many of these kills and assists, are because he's been surviving so long in these fights. And you talked a lot about how many ways that Furious Gentzer can start a fight, but again, it's one of those matters of after you've blown all of your ultimates, if somebody's alive, and if this Galio's still alive after you've blown all the ultimates, then now it's Galio's turn. Because you've got the Malphite Orianna on top of you, you've got all these other threats on top of you. But if you survive their, initial wave of CC, then that puts you as Galio, who has the taunt, who has the AoE, DOT of the Q, that puts you in a much better spot to, bring the fight back to them. So I believe that the items that he has drafted, the tankiness, the Rod of Ages, the Zonias and everything, have really done him the favor of being able to last and outlast, especially these ultimates being thrown at him. To say, well, now your big guns are down, so I'm going to bring the rest of my kit on top of you.
Interesting. That is a good point. And I now I'm just kind of interested in whether the Rod of Ages could have been swapped out for what is the other catalyst item, as Ginger Penguin does hit the ultimate, not the full stun. Paranoid trying to re-engage. A pop-up from Zayfrey is going to get a free kill for Harbinger, a second kill for Harbinger. Big shockwave to turn things around. Songas is trying to finish this fight off. It looks like Harbinger might have gone a little bit too far, but here is the shield, as the taunt does hit. Zayfrey picks up another kill on a Rebel Fox. A little bit sloppy there from the side of NFG, but they do come up with the win. 1 kill positive plus the tower. Not as attractive as the engagements we've seen previously, but they're still doing okay with a 5k gold lead, only 28 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw it there. You saw, for the most part, they landed the Malphite Orianna combo on the 3 again, and I believe that included Azizi, who, as you see just moments later, is basically walking out with all of his health and is not worried about it. So, again, you have that factor of we can throw all of our ultimates at you, but if we're not able to get past this Galio, who, has the overwhelming taunt, as well as the Q damage and the knockup, then it's really all for moot. We can pick off S Commander as many times as we want. But the problem is that this Galio, who's now got a surmounting amount of both health and tankiness, is just getting on top of our team and being a completely non-ignorable threat. I'm
mainly interested to see when the first taunt or flash taunt comes in from Azizi. He's had really great taunts, but you're mentioning that he's tanking up a lot of the ultimates and he's re-engaging. I almost kind of wanted at this point just see him start the fight out. I feel like he's been cleaning things up very well, but at this point when you're so strong, I mean, he just finished his 5th item 29 minutes into the game. Right. Why are you not just flashing forward and just trying to obliterate, Royal or Songless or even Hottie Williams at this point, who really are not that tanky? If you can sit and eat the ultimates when they're coming to you, surely you can sit and eat them when you're going to them, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it's a dual thing because, of course, the Malphite and Nocturne both have very, reaching ultimates that are able to, if Galio commits to getting into the front line and to, go for one of those crazy flash engagers, something to get ahead, then it really gives Hottie a little more agency to, ult way past him and go find the backline and say, okay, the Galio's committed to jumping on top of us, so now we're going to go jump on the Xayah. We're going to go jump on, the Aurelia or somebody else that's looking out here.
Interesting. Speaking of the Aurelia, Harbinger does get hit with the Ash Arrow, but Zayfrey's been killing it with these Poppy ults the past few minutes. He's
incredibly clutch here.
Yeah, he's really been keeping his team alive. A less so clutch ultimate comes out with the Unstoppable Force from Rebel Fox to keep him alive. The Baron is started here. We'll see what Furious Gentz has to say about it. And actually, it looks like Azizi's kind of out in the middle. He does have the hero's entrance, mainly just to save his team. Harbinger wants to go in. There's the shield of Durant, but actually, Shockwave really, really well done in the paranoia. A trade of kills goes out, but S Commander comes out with another kill onto Skylancer, and it looks like, another trade kills. They're just keeping back and forth, and S Commander is the final carry standing. It turns out to be a 3-for-5, pretty close fight there, but S Commander, the unsung hero of the day, comes with a triple kill to win the fight.
Yeah, that's burning the Malphite ultimate there was incredibly useful on the side of NFG to not have to deal with that till to get to the point where they were able to clump that. And another important one was the interference that Harbinger ran into the, deep into the line of Furious Gentz, getting Songless to the point where he had to spend the Orion ultimate on just him.
Yeah,
And
I think he ate almost all of Songless's damage.
yeah, and so you saw that the rest of the crew of NFG was really able to just pour into that fight with the Songless ultimate down, with the Malphite ultimate down, and really just had to wait out the Hottie Williams ultimate to see where he was going to go with it. And just the amount of tools you have to spend as when you commit a comp like that, like Furious Gentz comp, you commit sort of the R button them to death type comp. The more ultimates you can get out of the team before a crucial fight, the better it's going to end up for your team, because that's less big weapons that you have to deal with in a forward-facing amount of damage. So it really just very well done on the side of NFG to use the threat of Baron to force Furious Gentz to come in to look for a fight, and then be able to turn it on them to stagger out the uses of their ultimates to really control the pace of the fight and come out on top.
Well, I find it kind of interesting in particular because we were praising Azizi's greatness all game. We were kind of messing with Escoman a bit as he killed over and over again. But I feel like when you give an ADC 30+ seconds to auto attack without doing a single bit of damage to him, he's just going to come up with kills no matter what as a flash forward onto Azizi. That's what I've been looking for some time now as the return kill. Paranoia onto him, but he doesn't have anything. S-Commander's still kind of safe in the back lane, not so much. Shield around taunt, gets a kill. Royal trades his life for him. The kills continue to stream in. Triple kill actually coming out for Royal. Almost the exact same thing that S-Commander did earlier in the game. He gets the quadra kill. Does he get the pentakill? I don't know. Oh, he doesn't want to go
Our
for
man
it.
Nick needs an Ash pentakill.
Oh no! The shame as Royal walks away from Harbinger with his tail between his legs. But almost exactly what I was saying about S-Commander being able to just free shoot for 30 seconds is exactly what Royal does, as the entire team just goes all in on Azizi, all in on Songless, all in on even Rebel Fox, and Royal just walks away with what really should have been a penta, but it's okay.
Somewhere we would have heard a man screaming, and it would have been very loud. But as it is, that is the type of turnaround fight that we were looking for on the side of Furious Gentz. And you saw, and I mean, that is what I was talking about when what happens when Azizi goes for one of those crazy flash taunts. It literally happened. He flash taunted into 2, and the result is you saw a Songless ultimate find 3 people on the backside of NFG. You saw so much damage get poured onto Azizi after that. He had the Zonias, and he was going low, ended up zoning that fight. They immediately utilized that stasis time to pick off members of NFG in the back. So Azizi was not able to soak up that damage. He was trying to, be the engager there, and Furious Gentz responded in turn by, turning in immediately on the back of the rest of the kills on NFG.
Oh, Azizi is going to get paranoid again here in the mid lane. He's really, really tanky. It's on top of him. Not tanky enough as Royal picks up another kill. But Jace for Penguin's been hitting ult after ult after ult. All right, Skylancer trying to trade his life for his ADC, but it might be a little bit too late as Royal picks up a double actually in return. Can Royal get the penta here as he does not pick up another kill? So Songless steals the penta away. S-Commander running for his life, but he actually does go down to Songless. The re-engagement from NFG bites them awfully as Furious Gentz come up with a 2 for ace and are going to be able to siege on the mid lane. Probably pick up an inhib here. Maybe even go further.
Think they can go a little further beyond.
They don't have Mountain Drakes. We'll have to see. 15 seconds on Azizi, 14 seconds on Jays for Penguin. They're picking up the middle inhibitor. They're walking away. They're not confident enough in fighting this 12-4 and 20 Galio in his base. 12-4 and 20 in 36 minutes. He has almost been part of a kill every single minute. His team has almost had a kill every single minute. That's really just kind of insane. He's going to be full build before 40 minutes. But the Elder Drake actually will be picked up because of that team fight. They get the mid-inhib. They get the Elder Drake as well, barring the craziest of steals. Here's the Shield of Durant. Oh, there's the Smite to make sure things go. Paranoia to probably disengage. But it looks like Azizi wants to go in. Doesn't have his flash, though. Whoa, there goes Skylancer. He wants to go in on this. Not sure about it, but a big shockwave in the mid lane. Hottie Williams are going to turn this around. Azizi is so far forward, they can't turn around things for his team. Harbinger picks up a kill onto Skylancer, but that's it so far. Harbinger gets another kill onto Royal. He's trying to turn things around. Royal shuts him down, though, a 2 for 2. And you're right, Azizi going too far kind of makes things pretty awful for his team. Extended 3 kill. Okay, extended 3 for 3 after all. But as soon as Azizi goes all in, Rebel and Hottie Williams just don't care anymore, and they just go as deep as they want. And it's only Harbinger that can really turn things for the side of NFG. Basically, all they have to do is make sure the Royal doesn't die to Harbinger, and they can let Azizi walk into them as many times as they want as they begin the siege of the bot lane turret. Has a Baron been picked up this game? Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. It was picked up on the side.
Yeah, NFG picked it up after the double try by Furious Gentz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, the thing about Azizi, getting into this, starting these initiates off is on top of, he's being burned down now because the itemization has gotten to the point now where they have of course, the Dominic's Regards on the side of Royal. They have the Void Staff on the Orianna. He can no longer just enter on top of people and say, I will infinitely soak up damage from you guys. The builds are at the point now where Royal is putting out an absurdly consistent amount of damage that is not able to just be ignored by Azizi without, the rest of the line to really help him soak that up.
Yeah, so that's a full build ADC at almost level 18.
Yeah, now he has the Guardian Angel active, so he's less scared of Harbinger finding him out at the start of a fight and just removing him as a threat.
A lot of vision control coming out from Furious Gentz here. Sans that one just below. They're starting the Baron. It's going down really, really fast, but I'm not sure they're ready for it just yet. Paranoia does pick. Digipigman hit an ult after an ult after an ult. But the return Skylancer ult is not enough as 3 people almost instantly pop on the side of Furious Gentz. 2 people, in fact, actually do. And Azizi is going to clean up this fight with the taunt. He just had to wait. Just had to take it slower this time. Play slow. And a Ace should be coming in for the side of NFG on top of the Baron. That does not feel good. Ace does not come in from NFG, nor does the Baron either, as a 4 for 2, I think, comes out for the side of NFG.
Rebel Fox, the true hero of the day.
But, oh wow, I didn't even notice that.
That is a lot of damage being dealt to the NFG base in the meantime.
Yeah, didn't realize how much damage had been happening. Maybe if your viewers just keep fighting and see what happens. If we get both of the Nexus turrets, but nothing yet. And that inhib should be up in probably 2 minutes at this point. I'm not gonna be able to do that just again yet until they get kill another inhibitor, of course. Can they just go? Can they try the Baron again? I mean, there is only 1 TP on the side of NFG, but the last time they tried was scary, I guess, would be one word for it. They're kind of positioning around. I mean, they know that it's the only thing that's going to be up for some time now. It's going to be a little bit until Elder Drake does pop up, and vision control around the Baron is probably the most important objective right now. They actually have had very, very good vision control, particularly around Baron, but just kind of in general for most of the game. But it hasn't been just enough to really sneak things under the nose of NFG. With a couple wards dropping down around the riverside. But a few question mark pings from NFG. They're worried about this. Jaster Penguin looking for it. He's hit Solar Flare after Solar Flare after Solar Flare. So why not set him in first? Right. Whether he is the support or not. I mean, he's going to hit that stun pretty simply. A little bit more vision coming back for the side of NFG. Lots of actually a very calm Baron dance. More calm than we're probably a little bit used to in this league. As both teams really just taking things slowly. 41 minutes into the game. Much longer. I think this is getting close to as long as our series earlier in the evening. Just for this first game between these two teams. Obviously a pretty close matchup here. Pull a Baron on accident. Stupid little rune. What is that called? Rune's Hurricane? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoopsies. But a 4-man stack for the side of Fierce Gentz is a little bit scary with Harbinger in the bot lane. He does, of course, have the TP. Rebel does not. Azizi does not either. So Harbinger's just going to try and split push as much as he can. But the paranoia might scare them off. Might force the TP more than anything. Azizi is in. He's about half health. He pops the Zonias. Misses the ult for the first time almost this entire game. But that might be enough for the side of Fierce Gentz to turn things around. And if she's still really, really tanky, though, really good kiting. Ash does not go down, but Patty Williams a little bit too far deep. Harbinger gets his Guardian Angel popped with 3 members on top of him. Royal picks up a kill pretty easily. Zayfrey really low on health, so is S Commander, so even is JH for Penguin. And there's a flash forward from Skylancer. Great dodge out, but it might just be enough for Royal to get in there. Royal picks up, doesn't pick up any kills, but 2 kills go over to Songus and Rebel Fox. 4 dead for a very extended time on the side of NFG. This inhibitor definitely goes down. Oh, there's no towers.
There's no towers.
Yeah, they already killed the towers with the Winions. S Commander cannot 1v3 here. Oh, that's a big shockwave. That's what we've been looking for probably about 40 minutes now, as the first win does go to Furious Gentz.
Wow. That was a hell back and forth game, but in the end, I think the thing that was mentioned at the very beginning, looking at the numbers really supports me here, as we see talking a little bit about the impressive performance from Azizi, who put out 40,000 damage that game on the Galio, nearly 1k a minute, but eclipsed just slightly by Royal, the new 80 carry coming in for the side of Furious Gentz, putting out 52,998 damage on that Ashe. Absolutely mauling through the front and back line of the side of NFG once obtaining the items on that Ashe, and just tore hole after hole through these fights that he was not able to be, found off on.
Yeah, it can't feel good when your replacement does 1.3 thousand damage a minute. For the side of S Commander, but S Commander was almost in the same position where it seemed like maybe it was just because of how beefy both teams were. Both of these ADCs, while we're dived from time to time, were given an incredible amount of time to just free shoot for so long in these team fights. Harbinger was really the only person on Ashe for most of the game, and S Commander, outside of a few ults from Fox, was also pretty free to go. So basically, if they didn't just instantly die, to Paranoia or like the Aurelia diving in, these ADCs could just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot for so long, which is kind of, I feel like, why the game lasted for so long, is that it just kind of turned into these like just slugfest between two teams, and just who can come out with the win. Well, it's a 3-for-2. That's not really much of a win,
Yeah, that was definitely a back and forth that lasted for a long, long time, and you kept seeing the advantages get built, and you saw Azizi really going back and forth with hanging back and being the damage-soaking hero that outlasted the R buttons of the other side, versus trying to be the hero and going for those quick initiates and deciding to be the one that his team can pour onto after, and it really did not work out for him, and he may have committed to the idea a little bit too late in the damage phase of FG to have the answer for him and have that Ashe DPS that absolutely burned him down very quickly on the turnaround there. So definitely not giving enough respect to the Ashe pick, and not committing enough hard dive to really find her out in those fights and pick her off. Any fight where she was really able to last out there, just absolutely did a crazy job.
It was an interesting draft. We're going to have to see how this draft goes. I want to throw things to a break because it's been a long night. I just want to keep things, calm. So we're going to see you guys in a few minutes. Don't tune out. We're going to see the second game in just a little bit. Folks, welcome back to the GXPC. It's season 4, it's week 8. It's Furious Gentz versus NF. No F's given. Furious Gentz was able to pick out a long and hard-fought win in game 1. And we talked a few things about the draft here and there. Really, it just kind of came down to which carry was just not going to die. So in this next game, with NFG trying to peel back the win, go 1-1, what do they need to do from maybe the earlier parts of the game, not the 40-minute team fights, to kind of turn things around?
Yeah, they definitely want to draft in a way that's going to give them the opportunity to, not really acknowledge that threat of that Ashe, and really, it was nice that FG drafted an interesting combo on their side that really I talk about having the multiple threats, the Aurelia Orianna as well as the Ashe. So you're dealing with, the Malphite Orianna combo, a Nocturne Orianna combo, Rakan Orianna combo. You have to, acknowledge those forward-facing threats, but once you've gotten past that, you have the Ashe in the back line. So you have to decide if you're going to, put a champion or two in your draft that's going to be able to get to a backline threat very quickly and eliminate it before, the forward-facing threats coming from the rest of the team are going to wipe your guys out, and to give you no forces left to fight against those AD carries. So if picking it off is something they want to look forward to doing, in that now that they have access to all 5 of their bans to, take out something extra maybe that they want to pull from maybe the AD carry line or another, mid laner on the side, if they want to maybe look at the Orianna that time, I don't know if the NFG draft was really something that went wrong. They definitely had the champions to do their job. I think the Poppy was a little bit strange. Of course, it gave them the unique ability to go for the Poppy Galio as the sort of awkward engages, but I don't think that's the champion they wanted off of that draft going forward.
So BT dubs, as the young ones do say, Sword has been subbed in for S Commander. So whether they're making a change in the draft or not, they're in the lineup, pulling in more, I guess, team-seasoned ADC. I don't want to say just a seasoned player, but he's been playing with the team for a little bit longer. Running things down really quickly, Akali, Swain, and Urgot got rid of by Furious Gentz. And NFG, I totally had forgotten, had lost some of their bans with how long that game went. So you're absolutely right. They might be able to kind of look at things a little bit more as the more Pantheon and Malphite respect ban is pulled out in the Kled versus Sion matchup in the top lane. Very interesting.
Yeah, they definitely have the ability to go in with the Kled, and I don't know. Kled is a very interesting champion in a lot of matchups. You can do a lot with him to skirmish with a lot of these, tanky, bruisier top laners who aren't really looking to make as long of a fight as Kled likes to look for. And I don't see a whole lot of Kled as much lately, but the champion is very strong in what he's able to do in pulling a lot of the top lane sort of aggression, as well as, he starts fights in a lot of the same way that Sion does off of his ultimate. You find it from very far away and you say, oh no, a Kled ultimate is coming, oh no, a Sion ultimate is coming, but what they're able to do when they get on top of the team is relatively similar. They disrupt fights a whole lot, get a lot of CC down, and Kled puts out a lot of damage onto people that he's able to stick to.
You mentioned you don't see a lot of Kled. I don't see a lot of Tristana either. Although I guess I probably see more. I've seen her once or twice, but I have not seen her a whole lot. Really, ever since the rework to ADCs. Every once in a while I see her picked up, and she just looks very lackluster compared to, a Lucian, a Varus, or a Kai'Sa.
Right. I would say this league definitely has a lot of Tristana lovers. I've seen Tristana picked a lot from games I've cast here and games that I've watched here. Lots of, especially Sword is definitely one that enjoys the Tristana pickup, and it facilitates. It's interesting because Tristana is facilitated very well by a lot of the compositions that NFG likes to put together, with lots of tanky engaged, lots of disruption being created in the front line. If you're able to find these kills from very far away on Tristana and reset yourself off, so it's different from a couple of the other AD carries who are able to fight one after the other and just take people down. Tristana gains the unique ability with these tanky front lines to, find a kill, and then once you think you can commit your forces after that kill to, get the Tristana, suddenly she's rocket jumping away from the team, rocket jumping closer to somebody else, and it becomes harder to pick her down while you're already trying to get through, Trundle, Kled, and now the Alistair, who are even able to peel for her. It becomes that much harder to get to her as she's, self-repositioning on top of that in terms of these fights, versus the Lucian who's looking to get into the fights, dash into these fights and look to, pick people off. Tristana is able to play from a lot further away, and then on top of that, in between the fight, constantly repositioning, keeping things away from her. So it becomes a lot harder and you see a lot of these NFG comps get put together around sword, arrow turn sword, to facilitate that very easily, where the Tristana gets a lot of leeway to be in the back of a fight, but behind all these bulky tanks, and really just start picking off people with her, very, very reliable DPS.
Well, now you got to think about the damn name of the sword, because you're right. It is arrow, and now I'm just really focusing on that as LeBlanc has picked up for mention that I wanted to see as easy as the 10 and 2 LeBlanc as opposed to Gallios. We have to see how that goes. But you mentioned a lot about Tristana, and I saw the Lucian pick and hoped in my heart of hearts that Braum would get banned. Which we do see. So in that case, Tristana, she does have some tanks in front of her. She does have some engage. You're right. She can go in and out with the rocket jumps, but it takes 15, 20, or 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So how does Lucian Rakan feel as their Tristana before you get to that point?
Yeah, I would say this is the lane. I was talking a lot about the compositions that the NFG really looks for here, but a lot of the problems of Tristana and a lot of the problems that NFG has found in several of their losses that they draft champions like Tristana and other champions of the nature are the laning phase. And you so often see the Lucian picked into Tristana, and absolutely it's important to note that Tristana very early starts with attack range that's relatively on par. I believe it's either 500 or 525, around on par with Lucian. And Lucian can very easily weave into those fights and, get a lot of damage down on Tristana and maybe even threaten a kill very early. And especially with the Rakan to facilitate that, having the knock-up, having the, shield available, it's putting a lot of pressure on Jaeger Penguin here in this lane to, maybe be less committed to the engages off of trying to find a fight. I mean, it is very strong to, find an Alistair combo into a Tristana E, because the Tristana E off of 3 or 4 auto attacks does do a very significant amount of damage there. So they do have the ability to start a fight, but I believe you're going to be more often committing Jaeger Penguin here to removing Lucian from sort of those distinct engages and getting a lot of damage down Tristana. Trying to keep Sword alive through this lane phase is going to be more of Jaeger Penguin's job rather than facilitating these early kills.
Well, we didn't even mention actually the Highlands went back onto the Nocturne, which is even kind of scarier for Sword. I feel like you're right. The Jays for Penguin can get rid of Rakan, get rid of Royal on Lucian, but if all of a sudden, let's just say Sword has used his rocket jump and a Paranoia drops on top of him, there's not really anything that Jays for Penguin can do anymore for the very squishy Tristana that is fairly mobile. But in the wrong situation can just be kind of deleted.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, with the threat of the Nocturne is definitely going to be a very important factor here. Again, Hottie Williams looking to make a repeat performance. And, Songless also back on the Orianna, definitely did a huge number in finding several crucial team fights from them, finding several 3-4-man Orianna ultimates that absolutely left NFG devastated at near the beginning, middle of a fight. So between those two picks happening again, as well as the switch up of Royal to go from the more late game oriented Ashe pick into the early mid Lucian pickup here, it's going to be interesting to see if FG decides to turn up the aggression early with the Lucian pick, or try to play out the game the way they were with Hottie Williams. Songless just making picks on the team and letting the rest of the team do what they want.
So, supposing that no one does what they want, what is the prediction? Does NFG tie the score? Does Furious Gents walk away with a 2-0?
I think this is going to be an NFG tie here. I personally am not a fan of Lucian, and I think that it does not facilitate what FG wanted to do with their last comp, where they were looking to just outplay them, get to the point where they had team fights in their favor, and I don't think Lucian is going to be the pick they want for this. I think the Tristana is going to prevail here, and I expect to see a 1-1.
Alrighty, you heard it here. Folks, we're going to kick it to a word from our sponsor. Do not touch that browser. We'll see you in just a minute or two.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift with with a pause before I could get any further.
There's the Games XP pause that we've been
Dude,
looking for.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen a single one 3 games in a row. That's just not right. Sword does drop. So, you know, the thing that I was kind of got really distracted by when you reminded me of his name change is that obviously Arrow is the name of a professional LCS player. Do you know who Sword is, though?
I would say Sword is an LCK player, I believe.
Well, more so,
Shield combo.
I'm talking more about C9 Sword.
What? C9 is a sword?
Yeah, you don't know this, do you?
I can't say I do. When I see Sword, I think of either Najin Sword, Najin Shield, or the player's Sword and Shield, which were on another Korean team that I can't remember the name of.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess C9 has one of them too.
Well, actually, they don't. C9 Sword is the Smurf of Impact.
I see.
Because C9 Gun was sneaky.
Probably sneaky.
Yeah.
No.
So they had Gun and Sword on C9. Obviously, he's not C9 anymore, but he still plays that account, which I think is kind of hilarious. So while we're hanging out, we do have a 1-0 for the side of Furious Gentz. Who's picking up the first blood? On whom? At what time in the game?
We're gonna see Azizi pop off on the Blanc, and we're gonna see him take the solo kill onto Songless, and it's gonna be sick. And we're probably gonna see it at like 6 minutes.
6 minutes? That's like level 6, basically.
Is that? Yeah, I guess that is. You know what? 5 minutes. All right, we're gonna see 5 minutes. We're gonna see Azizi get the kill on Songless for first blood.
I think that's still level 6. I don't know. We'll see.
We're gonna see Azizi get the first blood on Songless. Let's watch it.
I mean, I love LeBlanc. I also a little bit torn here when it comes to this matchup. Although I think LeBlanc has a little bit more in my heart and other body parts than the robot does. I would like to see some pop off in the mid lane for sure, especially since I haven't seen Songless run the corrupting potion build in either game, which I just find quite interesting that he is more interested in the Doran's Ring start as opposed to the corrupting potion with the time warped tonics.
Right.
That's really a personal preference thing. Obviously, it's just I've seen a lot. I've seen the time warp a lot more. I've enjoyed the time warp a lot more. Oh, he's run Doran's twice in a row. I don't know. Just an interesting little factlet, if you will.
Yeah, it's fair. The moves that you get from Time Warp Tonic is definitely a huge boon, but of course, Orianna is a very very demanding champion with her mana pool if you're going to commit your kit to farming. And I think against the LeBlanc, who's trying to spend a lot of rest on you, you're forced to kind of throw out your skill combo in response to get a lot of it on her. And if she engages at you from an angle that's away from minions, then it forces you to kind of use your farming tools for harass or counter harass so you don't lose trades. So having the Duran's ring for the extra mana sustain is definitely going to be helpful. I mean, you see it just as early as right here.
Yeah, there's the dash forward and the dash back, but it wasn't really the best of trades coming out of Azizi. Hopefully he can clean that up a little bit as Songless ends up with the better trade, although of course with the corrupting potion heal up a little bit more. That is interesting. You're right that Azizi is standing near minions whatsoever, so a lot of your mana is gonna kind of be split between CSing and harassing, depending, of course, on the positioning of Azizi. But I guess, like I said, it's kind of a personal preference. But I almost feel like my mana issues are better with the corrupting potion, oddly enough, because sometimes I go biscuits on top of it.
Right. Yeah. I say if you go with the biscuits on top of it, then you kind of get a little. I mean, I guess it just depends on how long you intend to be in sort of that laning phase. If you last out a little bit longer than the corrupting potion, because of course neither of these laners have teleport. So of course neither of them have the agency to just say, oh, I'm out of corrupting potion charges, I'm just going to go back, teleport back in and be all right with my charges again. So you're going to see them last a little bit longer in these lanes than usual.
Wow, that's a lot of damage coming out of Harbinger. He almost gets the kill with the press the attack. Well, I might need to amend my thought process on the first blood. Maybe I'm not really certain how much damage Mr. Kledster can do. He didn't even get dismounted either.
I have not seen Kled in a while, and I remember the short reign of Kled sort of terrorizing him, and Gnar were just sort of the picks you really picked to sort of bully down a lot on these tanky, bruisery top laners, especially early, because the damage of violent tendencies, which I want to say is % health after 4 auto attacks, and then give someone a rapid boost of attack speed. So he's able to just trade out these skills with these tanks and then just wail on them after that with these melee auto attacks, and you're gonna see it here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is % health, but not enough percentage to get that kill there. But that, again, a pretty easily won trade for Harbinger. He'll eventually remount, get the health back, and Rebel Fox is chilling. I think he's already used all of his corrupting potions already. Yeah, it's weird. The last time I saw Kled was in the mid lane.
What?
Yeah, mid lane Kled was like a thing for like a day.
It's funny because I was saying the last thing I saw was Kled support for a while Bruce was still a thing.
No, I saw mid lane Kled in actually the LCS and the QLCS a couple of times. As an engagement on the bot lane comes in, Hottie Williams trying to gank a lot earlier than he did previously, but I don't think they have the damage just yet to take out Jace for Penguin. Dash forward actually for Sword. He really wants to go in on there. The rocket jump on cooldown. He didn't use flash, he used heal, but wow, actually Harbinger lost the trade. He must have gotten TP'd on. And a flash forward from Rebel Fox gets the first blood.
Wow.
On to Harbinger. He did not respect the TP play from Rebel Fox, and he will have to TP back. A kill down in the top lane. He didn't unfortunately get his Tiamat, which is a pretty big buy for the Kled. I'm really surprised that nothing happened bot lane, and then turns out that Scion gets the first kill top lane. That's
as much back and forth as we've seen in the mid lane. We definitely saw huge trades coming out in the top lane, so I'm not too terribly surprised to see it. Whoa.
That's an ignite onto Royal, but a third tower shot hit Sword. And they're going to have to back off. And it does look like Zephyr is in the mid lane as well. He gets the knockup, but the chains do not hit for Azizi, unfortunately, and the play is going to have to walk out. It actually looks like Zephyr had been sitting there for a second or two. I noticed him in the bush before he even wanted to go in. And there's the ultimate from Azizi, the reset. There's the chains that hit, I don't think he has enough, though, unfortunately. He's just, like, he's getting good trades, but he's just not enough, you know?
Yeah, I would say Song was definitely trying to bait him very deep there. He still had the barrier available as well, so he was not worried between his own shield and that. He was really trying to bait Azizi into committing to an extremely deep amount of that fight. But Azizi definitely showing that he has the ability to put the harass down here onto him.
Level 6 Harbinger does try and engage onto Rebel Fox. I want to come back to the mid lane in a second. R2 press the attack is already procced. Ooh, Bear Trap on a rope is dodged nicely by Rebel Fox. So the thing that I wanted to mention, though, is that I feel like as these assassins like LeBlanc, if you don't win the kills out, you need to get a good kill top lane. Return kill for Harbinger, very easily picked up. No level 6 for Rebel Fox, and a pretty big CS differential for Harbinger is going to give him a nice equalized kill. Luckily, Rebel Fox able to pick up that level 6 there at the end. What I was going to mention is that, like, if you're not getting these kills on your opponent as the assassin, you have to be pushing them out so much that they're losing CS. And a 1 CS differential for Songless without using summoners doesn't matter at all. Flash forward coming out of Skylancer onto Zazer Penguin. Paranoia popped as well. He's very, very tanky cow, but he does go down to Hottie Williams. Just barely. Rocket jump forward from Sword. Flash away from Hottie Williams and keep him alive. Maybe Sword's a little bit too far now. And he does, wow, somehow get out.
Wait, he's going to get...
Oh, Sword does go down.
He got the kill from the tower.
Really unfortunate. A little bit too aggressive there. They got the kill pretty easily, but they just wanted a little bit too much more. Royal has got to be close to ultimate here soon. Doesn't have the dash. He doesn't have the flash. Oh, but he's trying to 1v1 on Sword. I don't think Sword wins that. And a dash forward as well from Azizi. Azizi's been trading. Shockwave misses. Ooh, that's really unfortunate. Could have been potentially been a kill for Songless, but Royal and Skylancer might be left out to dry here. He comes Azizi. Azizi gets a really easy kill onto Royal. He wants to keep going for a little bit more, but Zayfrey doesn't have enough. Zayfrey burned Flash actually try and engage on that. But only 1 kill comes out. But that's 1 kill for Azizi. Literally, as I was saying earlier, you need to get the kills or you need to get the CS lead. Well, might as well get the kill on a different laner. Clearly, it's bot lane feeding and not the mid lane, obviously.
Yeah, I was say that is definitely the kill they wanted to find on Azizi early to put himself a little bit ahead, as well as the kill they wanted to find on Sword, so that he's, got a little bit more breathing room to not worry about Royal, on this Lucian with a lot of front loader damage. And the Mountain Drake, of course, is going to be a major boon for this team as they transition to the mid game and sort of throw their weight around to threaten these objectives after they clear out these fights.
That's the third first Mountain Drake that we've had tonight.
Yeah.
And even like the 6th or 7th Mountain Drake in total. That's kind of oddly favoring the Mountain Drake as the Baron Rope does hit on Hottie Williams. Hottie Williams flash. Whoa! That fear just barely keeps on the tether, and it might actually be Harbinger. Oh, great blast cone. It's going to get the kill for Harbinger, and he's going to walk away. Wow, that fear was so much for Hottie Williams. Charge goes away from Harbinger, and he gets a kill, walks away for free. 2-1 is Harbinger. 4-2 is the score for the NFG side. Looking a lot better than it. Well, actually, you know what? I say that, but their early game was really good in the previous game too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got shades of the previous game, and we're seeing a lot of NFG building a lead that's getting them very nicely ahead here. But I don't know, the tone is different a little bit for the side of NFG. We're seeing that the major thing here is we're seeing Hottie Williams very far behind. Here, I mean, not incredibly far behind. He's a killer.
Well, there's Paranoia again. Actually, the buffer is not enough. Culling on to Sword. Pick up kill for Royal. Royal doesn't go under the tower either. I don't think they can kill this cow. But another kill in the bot lane. There's 2 kills in just a few minutes here as Hottie Williams, to your right, is behind, is really focusing. He picks up another kill. Azizi and Harbinger are trying to turn things around for their team, but Azizi has to back off. Harbinger gets dismounted, but the remount is soon to follow. But he's actually 2 levels ahead of Rebel Fox. That's insane as he flashes away. And he might be able to win this trade. He re-engages. He does not pop the Baron Trap on a rope just yet. He hits it pretty easily in almost perfect range. Flash for Rebel Fox is still here. He's going to turn around. I just really, he's 2 levels ahead. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's definitely consistently been in lane and showed the way Rebel Fox from really being able to get onto those minions. And canceling out that last decimating smash that he did with the bear trap on a rope pull-in was majorly important there. I don't think he would have been dismounted from the damage on that Q, but it definitely helped him ensure that he won out on the better end of that trade near the end.
There's something really ridiculous about the top laners in this league. Whoa! Well,
I think Rebel Fox thought that he got bear trapped there.
yeah, I mean, it's better safe than sorry, of course. I don't know if he would have really died if that bear trap hit anyway, though. But anyway, he is out. And Azizi has done an incredible amount of damage to this mid lane turret because of how well he's been aggressing upon the Songless. Basically, anytime that Electrocute is on cooldown, Azizi is in there. He started to expand the lead of CS without, again, it's not a single solo kill, but I guess who needs it if you have, well, about a 16, 17 CS lead at this point, plus a lot of tower damage, and your jungler Zayfrey is invading quite a bit with Azizi's priority mid lane. He can, Zayfrey can kind of do whatever he wants. Ooh, that doesn't feel good though. Bot lane could be another engagement here, but Zayfrey is ready for time in a long time to protect the bot lane. But it might actually just turn it back on him. Paranoia is ready. Nothing really comes out of it.
Yeah, they're really just really setting up posturing here. Oh man!
Charge on the Songless. He tower. He has a Zayfrey, unfortunately, and Harbinger does an insane amount of damage. I really don't know how Harbinger didn't take tower damage. Paranoia does pop on a sword. Once again, great headbutt from JS for Penguin. Disengages the fight. Here comes a TP. Sword does actually get the kill. Rebel Fox is unstoppable, but he's gone. He's at the tier 2. He's nowhere. Sword turns around the kill. 2 kills picked up for nothing. Headbutt pulverized for JS for Penguin, but Culling comes back out. JS for Penguin gets out before he goes down. Harbinger wants to turn things around. He's level 10. The Royals level 7. That's insane. Apparently Zayfrey and the ZZ didn't really care about all and stayed in the mid lane. They almost get the tier 2. I would like to have probably seen them stay there for the rest of the tier 2, but a very extended play comes out for the side of NFG. The thing that I was mentioning about mid lane that I found weird is that Harbinger never came out with a tower aggro. But we didn't really get to that very much. But it was actually Zayfrey that ended up tanking the tower when they were diving on Songless, which just seemed weird that Harbinger hadn't done damage by the time Zayfrey got there. But
yeah, I think it was because they started off with the Trundle Pillar, which they is as sort of hard coded in that the pillar deals 1 true damage to any target that it moves it to intentionally draw tower aggro for when it's used in a tower dive like that. So I believe they started off with the pillar before Harbinger really showed up to create that avenue. Then it would draw the tower aggro to Trundle there.
That's really interesting. I've never seen that interaction. I guess what I just would have assumed is that Harbinger would have trade killed, and then Zayfrey and Azizi would have cleaned things up, got the tower, and still would have all been fine. Yeah, it is just very, very surprising turn of events. Dracnia is up in 15 seconds. Harbinger has basically run of the mill in the top lane right now with Team F finished. And as Muff trading power, just as he displays right now, Zayfrey walking aimlessly. He gets the pillar off. There's no flash, no ultimate for the side of Rebel Fox. And he does probably go down to the side of Zayfrey, actually. But here is Hottie Williams to turn things around. Dismounted is Harbinger, but he actually doesn't go down. Shockwave does clear things out by Songless. It looked like, wow, actually, here comes Azizi. Again, Paranoia popped onto Azizi. Azizi picks up the kill on Hottie Williams. Kill fighting the bot lane. The charm going on to Sword. Sword gets a shutdown by Lucian, by Royal. Royal pops the culling and fighting across the map. Nice headbutt. Flash away from is Royal. Royal's still trading here. He pops the heal. He's used both of his summoners. Still hasn't picked up the kill. He's taken an incredible amount of damage from the minions, and he goes down before I can even finish the sentence. The minions take him down. So much fighting going on in the entirety of the map, but it's still going NFG's way. As the mid lane turret did go down to minions there. The tier 2 finally cracks. 2 turrets to 0, 1 Mountain Drake to 0, 10 kills to 6, and 25,000 damage to 22.5 for the side of energy as another Mountain Drake pops up.
Yeah, that was a whole lot to digest all around the map. The bot lane skirmish was absolutely wild for both sides of this map as Sword doing a nice job of disengaging off of that Rakan, finding the kill on him to get out of there just in time to take the 1-for-1. And Jace Penguin, you know, putting in work on the Alistar to show off the role. I mean, you see it even then, even at that point with the tankiness of the Alistar versus, you know, the Lucian, sort of that just pick off AD carry, and the amount of time it took him to commit to that Alistar and not even find the kill there. It really is just, it's a display of sort of Lucian's, you know, not real, you know, not very marksman-like, very play pattern.
Well, I was more surprised when I was looking at Sword just clear out that war. Care about kill on Skylancer whatsoever. Probably would have been the guarantee and the Dragon, but he's fine. He's just chilling. I mean, he's 3 kills, 2 deaths. Is Sword. He's got a Stormrazor finish. He's just waiting for, you know, 4 items and he can win the game. Another engagement in the top lane. Harbinger just poking. I thought this would be the Azizi Songless show, but it's actually the Harbinger Rebel Fox show. Well, really the Harbinger show beating up Rebel Fox. Oh, nice dodge away. Harbinger is paranoia though. Flashes again. 2 dodges very easily, honestly, from Harbinger. Does have to blow his flash, but he gets away from a double engagement, a double ultimate engagement actually onto him. Trade of Flash is good, I would say, but here comes the charge. Zayfray hits the Preller very easily. Bear Trap on a rope, knocks back Rebel Fox. He flashes away, but Harbinger picks up the kill. Second time that Zayfray has walked top and got the kill. 4-2 is Harbinger as an engagement bot lane. Azizi just obliterates Skylancer. He's going for the double kill. Ignited is Royal, but Sword picks up the kill pretty easily with the Buster shot. It looks like while NFG had been trading quite a lot around the map, trades are starting to go almost utterly in their favor. They're going to pick up the bot lane turret. They picked up 3 kills for the price of Harbinger's Flash. And they probably should get the Mountain Drake as well on top of this, as well as the Rift Herald. They're actually double dipping right now. We'll see if they get punished at all. Paranoia is not up, and I don't think there's any way that Furious Gentz can deal with this. They're going to lose 3 kills, 1 tower, the Rift Herald, and a second Mountain Drake, unless Songless doesn't die right now to his Z. They do get it.
Yeah, that is going to be huge for this team. They're finding everything they want. Things are falling in their hands. Having access to that double Mountain Drake, having access to a 4-2 sword on this Tristana, is going to go back and build up more items. It's really turning into the exact comp. I mean, things are playing into NFG's hands absolutely the way they want to. They have now an very unignorable amount of damage coming out of these Kled initiates on Harbinger, as well as Jace Penguin finding the right Alistar engages. Zayfray is running completely, you know, good interference on this Trundle to really stop anybody from trying to get back, and then it's really opening the path for Sword to just, you know, run through these teams and not have to worry. I mean, even at this point, if he's looking at getting ulted by Hottie Williams, you now have to deal with the 3-0 as easy on this LeBlanc, absolutely, you know, finding the Lucian, finding the Orianna, and just taking them out of the fight. So it's not even at the point where Sword, it's
Ooh, Paranoia a little bit aggressive there onto Azizi. Oh no. Oh, they picked the right one.
That was the right one.
That didn't look like the right one to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I saw it down. The clone, I mean, if you put the tether on the initial LeBlanc before she splits, then the real LeBlanc will end up getting feared.
Ooh, Shockwave does hit onto Harbinger, but Harbinger's going to pick up a kill pretty easily here. He gets dismounted. He gets feared by Hottie Williams. Hottie Williams has so much damage and just runs down Harbinger. A 2-for-1 trade ends up in the mid lane. The top lane turret does go down to the Rift Herald. Still a positive gain for the side of NFG. You were saying that Azizi is so scary on this LeBlanc and not ignorable. Well, not ignoring him still ends up with a kill on a death onto Songless, although it is a 2-for-1. Hottie Williams just not as terrifying as he was last game. Songless just not as ridiculously fed. or Zizi actually was not as ridiculous as who I was thinking of, excuse me. But Hottie Williams just was popping people over and over again by 20 minutes in the game, and he's only come up with 3 kills, unfortunately. Hepa Pulverize does knock onto Royal. Royal flashes away, but the stun goes off. The charm from Skylancer trying to disengage. They might return, but actually Zayfrey flashes in once more. The culling does an incredible amount of damage. Rumble Fox does stop it, just smacks into, but Royal dies all of a sudden to Azizi, potentially from the Ignite. Songless picked up a return kill into Zayfrey. Paranoia does not hit, and it does hit Azizi, but the shockwave misses, unfortunately. Paranoia is off Azizi. Ooh, Hottie Williams is going to be left alone. As Sword has not taken a single amount of damage this entire fight, and that's exactly what you were mentioning earlier, is that no matter what you do to Azizi, Zayfrey, James and Harbinger, if Sword has not taken damage, he will just turn a fight around no matter what.
Exactly. I mean, you're seeing the idea from last game literally get turned around on FG here. You're seeing we have so many threats for you to deal with that if you throw Nocturne at one threat, then all of a sudden the other one is going to take out the rest of your team. So if you spend Hottie Williams, throw him at Azizi, throw him here and there with the Paranoia, that gives Sword complete agency to just go into the rest of the team, because Songless isn't going to have an easy out. He doesn't have the Malphite now to attach a ball to and just say, hey, Malphite, I choose you to go back into the rest of the team so I can throw this Orianna ult on them. So you're not finding Songless getting these, multi-man Orianna ults that he found in the last game, because he doesn't have, a consistent delivery system and doesn't have the agency to walk up to the backline, because there's Jace for Penguin, there's Harbinger on these, bodyguard champions to really prevent Songless from just walking into the back and doing what he wants here.
So I'm kind of looking at Hottie Williams' build right now, and
yeah,
I'm not liking it. Is the simplest way of saying it. The Guardian Angel's second item, I mean, you're probably just gonna die as Nocturne anyway. I mean,
right.
It's gonna happen. So having the Duskblade second item to guarantee the trade kill seems a little bit worth it. I mean, Azizi almost didn't die to him when Azizi just went all in. Got the kill on Royal, and so it's a trade kill anyway. He kills Royal and then still barely gets away from Hottie Williams, who then dies again himself. It's a odd build to me. It's a worrisome build. It kind of feels like we're losing, so let's not lose worse build, as opposed to like how do I win this game kind of build.
Yeah, definitely utilizing getting into a more. Whoa.
Okay, that was interesting from Sword. Had to have been a misclick, as the culling does go on to Zayfrey. Tanky, but not really that tanky. Quickness is unfortunately not going to hit. He does have a second pop of it, I believe. Not enough just yet. Royal really wants to finish this off, but Zayfrey is surprisingly fast. But they're on the Baron right now. They're going to start the Baron, actually. Zayfrey does not have flash. He's very, very low. Harbinger is still split pushing. Azizi is in the wing. So is Zayfrey. So is Jays for Penguin. But Pulverize does going to go in. It hits Skylancer. It hits Hottie Williams. But Azizi goes in. He's really, really low. He gets a trade kill as Songless kills Azizi as well with the Shockwave. Baron is going to be stopped, but a 1-for-1 trade. Royal and Azizi are given up.
Yeah, that, I don't know. I was kind of speechless after the very start of that fight, and what happened. I'm gonna call it a miss.
A little bit of I'm way past that. I feel like there was some desperation Baron call.
Yeah, I was gonna say they took the main force away from, but we talked about just not too long ago, sort of the multiple threats you have to deal with on the side, where even if we've taken Tristana out of the fight, now we have to deal with both watching where LeBlanc is, and more importantly, an Alistar engaging on the back of our team and preventing us from, answering a fight coming at us. So I really don't think they gave enough respect to the easy entrance of Jace or Penguin to get onto that fight and start something on their terms for LeBlanc to follow up on.
I am astounded by the amount of Mountain Drakes in these games. That's something like the 10th Mountain Drake we've seen all night. And the third one this game. That's the second game with 3, maybe even the third game with 3 of them. It's starting to get insane here, but what that kind of worries me for the side of Furious Gentz is a very, very rapid Baron pickup for NFG, and they kind of understand that. They're trying to get Baron control right now, and they don't want to just be snuck, Sword just popping up Baron really quickly with Harbinger and just basically free hitting it. But I'm not sure they can even really do too much if the side of NFG does want to engage on it.
Yeah, they really got to get to a point, and they were trying earlier to get to the point where they could, use Baron as the tool to force the enemy team to come to them and, get them to start a fight that isn't really one that they want to look for, but use the threat of, hey, we're the stronger team, and if we get Baron buff, we'll be able to end the game. They're not really in a position to do that right now, sitting 5 towers down, sitting at, the 60 deficit that they're at. Baron at this point is really not something that they can, willingly say, we're going to bring the NFG team to us and, kill them because they're in a bad spot to start a fight. But now they're so much weaker right now than the NFG crew that it's a lot harder for them to just initiate a Baron and expect NFG to come and be put off to a point where they'd be weaker in a fight. So they really got to dive away from the Baron and, just keep the vision control in their favor as best as they can.
Not lose their jungler as well, who has to flash away. Not sure about that flash. I feel like the fear tether would have gone off. If you lose your jungler right now, that's a free Baron no matter what. But a flash forward from Azizi onto Royal. Paranoia is popped. Royal does not go down. Quickness and wow, shockwave on Sword just obliterates him. Here comes Rebel Fox to clean up the fight. Culling as well. Azizi is in the backside of the fight trying to finish things off, and so much damage is going on inside of NFG. Fierce Gentz had a pretty good engagement there, but NFG is so far ahead in gold, so far ahead in items. They're just going to clean up the fight pretty easily. Bear trap on a rope and a taunt to finish off the ace for Songless. Azizi comes out with a triple kill there. It's a 1 for 5. They're not even going to go for Baron. I think they're just going to go for an inhibitor turret right now.
Yeah, I would say that is triple Mountain Drake. You're gonna watch this tower disappear. You're gonna watch the inhibitor disappear, and I will definitely say that we talked about it again. Sword can be removed from the start of a fight. You can commit everything you want to getting Sword out, but this LeBlanc is at the point where it's so. I mean, you think about it, and you see Tristan, you say late game team. We just stopped them by killing the carry, but they've drafted this LeBlanc, and they've gotten Azizi at a point where he's so strong now that you can't ignore this threat. And I mean, it keeps happening. It keeps Azizi. It's either Azizi or Sword at this point that goes unchecked in a fight, and then they end up being the one popping off here. And more commonly, it's becoming Sword. And I mean, I don't like harping on it, but the Lucian pick is not coming in strong for the side of the Gents. I mean, you saw Royal was pretty much at agency to do everything he could. He had the guns, and he had everyone's back to him, and unloaded everything he could into this line, and it was not dealing damage.
Yeah, a 2-item Lucian, no matter how full the culling proc is, probably just isn't going to take down. I mean, there is 3 carries on the side of NFG, but one of them's really tanky in the Kled. Zephyr is extremely tanky, especially if he pops the Subjugate onto Rebel Fox. And Jace Penguin with his ultimate as well is just really never going to go down. So unless you just get the most perfectly threaded ultimate from Royal, and speaking of perfectly threaded ultimate, Paranoia is not going to be nearly enough for Potty Williams to stay alive against Azizi. That's probably a Baron right there. Royal's trying to pop up this tower as quickly as he can and then probably just bail. I gotta imagine that they're starting Baron right now with no jungler present and a triple Mountain Drake.
They would most likely be in a good spot, and we are going to see this Baron go down very quickly.
Yeah, that's a 3-item ADC with 3 Mountain Drakes. There's not going to be much that can happen to this. This probably will also give the potential for the a final push. Mid lane inhibitor is still down. The top lane inhibitor is exposed. And Harbinger in the bot lane didn't have to even expend his TP for that Baron. He can probably just walk this wave in for the time being. He's very, very strong and shouldn't have a lot of danger to most of the members of Furious Gents, but he is giving the respect that they are due as he backs up with the Baron Power recall.
Yeah, he's really looking to push in here and definitely deliver the proper amount of threat that this team brings to these fights. We're definitely going to see if they're not going to split up their forces and, try to shove in multiple sides here, as they've got the inhibitor exposed in the top lane. Maybe try to go for that, maybe make something happen here, but it's rough with FG so deep on their back foot here that really they're not at a good point to try to make a fight, but they're gonna try to do this dragon.
Yeah,
now.
they're gonna get this dragon probably uncontested. Mean that the top lane inhibitor is left to go. Songus is the only member in the base right now that can even pretend to deal with this. He's dived on by Azizi, but who cares? His Harbinger's getting an easy 1-for-2 kill. Azizi stopwatches in the middle of the base, but he picks up the solo kill. Harbinger's still here. Zayfrey has actually backed up to help him. I'm surprised they're not just going for the base right now, but the towers are crumbling. You can see on the mini-map, Sword has cleaned out the fight. It's 1-1.
Yep.
In this series. And I want to unpack this, but first we have to throw it to a break. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's going to be game 3 between Furious, Gentz, and NFG. We're tied 1-1. Thank you very much for staying tuned to this double header this evening. Glad to have you. Skyson, can you unpack the previous game a little bit as we did see NFG tie it up?
I hate Lucian. We're gonna start with that, but we're gonna go to, I don't know, looking at a lot of what happened. NFG definitely built up a lot of their early game to move forward in their favor, and definitely saw a lot of plays, especially in the top lane out of Harbinger. Definitely had several very nice plays on that Kled to really set things up for his team and get started. And then you just saw, you saw a lot of the same idea come from the Furious Gentz comp. They had the Nocturne Orianna, but I think that Hottie Williams may have just been, not quite finding, and it's different, of course. Nocturne engaging on an Ashe is, Nocturne engaging on what was their AD carry in the game one? I don't remember. It was not Tristana. We watched it for 40 minutes. How did I forget?
Kaisa.
No,
That was the earliest. That was an earlier matchup. Xayah.
Yeah. Nocturne engaging on a Xayah is slightly different than engaging on a Tristana, who has many more tools to get away on her own. So you're not really able to just have as much agency to press R and say, you AD carry, die instantly. Sword got a lot more of an answer to the Nocturne approaching and would not die immediately in these fights. So a lot of that was taken away from the FG power spike to just sort of have the ability to remove the AD carry at will. And of course, like I said, Songless on the Orianna was not able to, find the agency to find these very strong ultimates, because you didn't have the Malphite anymore. It got banned away, and you really just had the Scion. Scion isn't as sturdy as Malphite to do the same thing. Scion can't literally ult through people. You can ult into the front of people, but most of the people you're going to find off of the front of the Scion ultimate aren't the people that you're going to want to try to pull off the Orianna ultimate. So it's not as strong as being able to have somebody that can get into the backline to deliver a ball into. So not having that really hurt them to try to draft the rest of them. And of course, the power of, while they're committing to those Nocturne Orianna threats with the Scion ultimate, the AD carry pick, I believe, was really a heavy downfall on the side of Furious Gentz. I don't believe that Lucian offered anything to their comp. I don't think that they pushed hard enough to really try to, win lane with that Lucian Rakan. I think that the Alistar pick was great in just absolutely shutting them down, and they really weren't able to, make an answer there. So I think that the Lucian pick brought them down. The Nocturne ultimates were not able to, be as clean into the Tristana. So I really think that they just got outdrafted there. A lot of credit to NFG to really, answer a lot of those recurring threats to properly adjust to the rest of the game.
So you've mentioned a couple times you weren't a fan of Lucian. You and I had mentioned in one of our breaks about Lucian Braum composition. Is it as simple as throwing the Braum in before it gets banned, or would this Lucian just not have been able to make it happen no matter what?
Lucian Braum, I really think you'd want to draft them together, but I think that the thing about Lucian Braum is that Braum is also a champion that offers a lot to teams in certain situations, and off of his own back of his ultimate, he as a champion is very, very useful. And the fact that he also facilitates Lucian in lane is kind of an added boon. And while I do enjoy the Lucian Braum combo, I don't believe that I really don't think that the Braum would have facilitated the use of Lucian in that comp. I think that they were still looking for a lot of their same idea, as we're going to throw threats on top of you, and once you've gotten through them, you also have to deal with this marksman. So I still feel like they wanted to deal with one of the more traditional marksmen in their comp. I think if you want to comp around Lucian Braum, around that combo, which is very strong, of course, but I think if you want to comp around that Lucian Braum, you have to pick more front-loaded damage into your mid-game fight, and you really have to make a draft that, all ins the power to, win the game early, because Lucian is going to get outscaled by, any of these champions, the Tristanas, the Ashes, the Xayah, Kaisa. All of those champions will inevitably outscale Lucian at a rapid rate. So I think if you're going to commit your marksman pick, which as we've seen time and time again in this league, the bot lane is so crucial to several wins in most games in this league. So committing that role to an early game pick like Lucian really requires you to, shuffle the rest of the team around that. You have to throw, the heavy AoE ultimates to just, you have to commit so much of your team to making those early fights happen, so that Lucian gets to flourish and gets to, flex his items on top of everyone else before they can really get to theirs. And if you're not going to draft in that direction, then I really don't think Pollution is something you want to put on your team.
So I guess then the question is Royal the ADC that you would do that for?
I don't think. I think that the game 1 draft that Furious Gentz put together really facilitated what he was able to do, because you were able to see Royal constantly was making good positioning choices on that Ashe. And I mean, the choices you make on where to fight as Ashe and where to fight as Lucian are, significantly different. You're not going to be sliding into fights as Ashe. You're really looking to, take your time around the battlefield to really survey what your team is able to, make happen for you at the start, and then pick fights off as they are. And while you're aware of what threats can still get to you and what threats are weak enough for you to, pick off, then it's a lot easier for you than, being the one to enter those fights as Lucian, find the right targets to pick down, mark up, and, dash around. It's a lot easier to be one of those traditional marksmen to find the fights after your team has set them up for you, rather than try to be the one, responsible for getting in there and dealing a heavy burst of damage at the start.
Okay. Well, we've been talking about the previous game, but it's a new game. It's 1-1. It's the 3rd game in the series. I think we have depacked the previous game, but in this game we have a Morgana band, a Pantheon band, a Malphite band by the side of NFG, and a Kale, Swain, and Urgot. I think it's the same bands as the previous game for Furious Gentz. And Harbinger is going to be on a tank for the first time this series as he picks up the Scion, with Karma and Gragas coming out of Furious Gentz and Zayfrey back on the Trundle. This is the second time we've seen Gragas tonight. First time was an AP Gragas that, while I was utterly terrified for it, utterly obliterated the game it was in.
Yeah, I was going to say Gragas is definitely a pick that they want to use, and Gragas as a champion is very nice because you have sort of the dual utility of being able to start and being able to end a fight. Being able to start and being able to disengage fights is a power that Gragas has held for a long time, and he's been a very, mainstay champion in the meta for a long time because of that, dual utility, as well as the inherent tankiness that he brings. I think the Karma pick is very interesting. It definitely says a lot about what Furious Gentz are looking to go forward with in their comp, with the team speed up, as well as the harass and lane to keep away a full engage type composition that NFG could pull out on the bot lane again, as well as we see the Maokai strengthening the front line here for the side.
Maokai comes out again, probably for Ovofox, but I think Gragas and even really Maokai are pseudo flex picks. I mean, we've seen a decent amount of Gragas support as Karma mid, and every 5 billionth game we've seen a Maokai jungle. But it is interesting what you mentioned about the Karma speeding up the team, because it does feel like there's been a few times where they just needed a little extra when it came to their engagement. For instance, Toddy Williams' paranoias on the Nocturne twice in the previous games, and then no one's really with him. Obviously he doesn't have the paranoia in this game to really dive in as fast as possible, but they seem like they've needed just a little bit more, even to just disengage. Karma can help a lot. I like the respect ban for the Leona for Jays for Penguin, although he only played it in the first game that they lost. He really just obliterated team fight after team fight with the solar flares. So the final ban is Malzahar.
Yeah, Jays for Penguin definitely receiving both of those bans for both the supports he's played in this series. They really want to get him off of things he's comfortable on, and he's found engages on both of these games. I mean, even in the first game that they lost, absolutely those Leona ultimates, the ease, finding just the right targets of everything, and the Alistar was really able to find everything that he could to get into the fight, start him on his terms, and just completely throw NFG off to get what he wants. And I like this. I love me some Jinx. I will say that. As a support player who loves supporting those late game AD carries, I will say that Jinx warms my heart to see, and it's definitely something that I'm interested in seeing them provide proper amount of protection again for this Furious Gentz comp.
It's more fun though than a late game ADC is one-shotting a late game ADC as a mid laner, like Syndra. It's so fun. And Syndra is getting blind picked into Songless. Songless has picked up the Orianna twice so far. Azizi, I guess Jay's for Penguin technically, did hover the Orianna for a second. And Ahri is hovered by Songless. Interesting pickup into Syndra. Definitely an eyebrow raiser there. But is it the first, I guess, hard carry technically that Songless has played this series? I'm going to see how it comes into the Syndra from Azizi. I love Syndra so much. She's a really, really fun champion to play, really fun champion to watch, especially when you hit R. And
yeah, when you hit R and the guy dies, it's fun.
Really great. It's great. So what do you think is a little bit of points of contention of these matchups? You do have a double range in the bot lane for the Start of Fury's Gentz.
Yeah, I would say a lot of this will be, and I mean, they've drafted a lot shades of their game one, but now you have the Gragas Maokai frontline, and you also have the extra boost of mobility provided by the Karma and the Karma shields. So I think that Furious Gentz has done a nice job of drafting ideas from their game one draft that help them pull ahead, with the Hottie Williams able to engage or disengage, Rebel Fox being able to lock down some targets to keep them from getting to him, and Songless on Ahri is really going to be a key player here. Songless has definitely had a couple games on Ahri that he has absolutely looked beautiful on. I remember the one game he played when Alien Gaming was still around against Big Brain Mid on LeBlanc, who you'd see LeBlanc as sort of a shutdown matchup for Ahri, but several times LeBlanc would look for an engage, and Ahri would just absolutely shut it down, finding charms at absolutely great angles. He's proven time and time again that Ahri is a very dangerous pick for him, and he's very proficient on the champion. So I'm looking to see him make things happen on Azizi, who has taken the cleanse. Azizi has cleanse.
Didn't notice that.
Definitely looking to respect a little bit of Songless pick in this lane as we see what's going to happen here. And it's definitely going to be a battle of the mid lanes, as well as watching out for Royal too. But of course, it always goes without saying that seeing Sword, previously Arrow, previously Piercing Arrow, is now going to be on this Varus pick, which very often in NFG sets we see Varus get banned in the first rotation against Sword, previously Arrow, previously Piercing Arrow, and for good reason. I've definitely seen, of course, him on this previously Signature Champion, putting out several good performances on him. But I've also seen just as many performances where he gets shut down early. And Varus is you're a very harass-heavy pick on this Varus, but you're also very prone to, getting the aggression turned back on you. So it'll be very interesting to see both the bot lane and the mid lane matchups here, as we watch Royal try to, play up another one of these late game scaling AD carries, as well as we've seen both sides of this map really trying to play the, tanky frontliners.
Okie dokie. Well, it's down to the wire. It's the third game of the series. It's the final game of the night. Who is walking away happy? Who's walking away sad?
Don't make me do this. I don't know. I really think that without knowing much of Azizi before the set, that I think that Songless has the ability to prevail on Ahri, and I've seen the man, the myth, the legend. So I think that if you're gonna put gun to head, face to wall, I think Furious Gentz are gonna take this game.
Alrighty, 2-1 Furious Gentz is the analyst. The prediction coming out from the specialist here tonight. We'll see you guys in a minute or two after an ad break. Do not touch the browser. It's the last game.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The GXPC motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa and check out GXPC and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Welcome to the GXPC. Did you know that the GXPC stands for Games Extremely Paused Championship?
I did. That is what I came for, honestly.
I came up with that on the
If
fly.
you don't come for the consoles, you come for the pause.
Oh, that was I came up with that instantly. That was pretty good. So it's game 3. I am clearly extremely alert right now. As Furious Gentz and NFG take to the Rift for the final time this evening. And interestingly, again, there's not there's a double Doran's ring in the mid lane. I really just feel more
You really
comfortable.
aren't
Dude,
okay with Duran's rings.
I know.
I'm a
you know,
traditionalist, and I love Duran's rings. And seeing corrupting pods, ew.
I said it was a personal preference. I lied. I think it's just so much better when you run Corrupting Potion. Whatever. It's fine. I mean, I just feel like it's really weird to go Demon Materializer and not Time Warp Tonic. I think that's the weirdest part to me, is that he does pick up the Inspiration
What
as
if?
opposed to...
What if he went both, and he's just going to Time Warp Tonic with his 2 health bots and not the corrupting pod?
That just can't be good.
You just can't. You couldn't handle that idea.
I think my brain would just explode at this point. This is, what, the 4th hour of casting so far? Almost 5th hour. So yeah, I can't deal with that run right now. Good thing, fortunately, I can't just sit back and just like watch the broadcast and do nothing the whole time. I have to actually talk constantly for 5 straight hours.
Yeah, what a fortunate thing for casting. However,
yeah. I want this to be a really explosive game, honestly.
I do too.
Yes. Sword is taking a lot of damage, but in return, there's the stun. That's a level 1 JS for Penguin Braum right there, as Zayfrey basically just walked up KS and walked away. That was awesome. that was really awesome, actually. Just straight KS.
Yeah, I don't really. I think Skyland Sear saw the opportunity to turn the kill around on Sword, but I don't think he really respected the ability for Zayfrey to say, "Hey, you don't get to move, and we're going to kill you now."
That was like the best gank I've ever seen.
It actually just came in and yoinked it.
Yeah, just that. Thank you. You could have won the 2v2. Screw you. I'm a jungler. So is this an AP Gragas again?
Most likely. He has the Predator, so he's gonna have the boon of AP, as well as the Echoes.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know if we're considering Gragas with runic echoes and then tank items as AP Gragas.
I mean,
then
yeah.
yes, I guess it's AP
That's
Gragas.
that's like AP Galio.
Yeah, I mean it's only 1 out of your 6 items that gives AP, so that makes you.
Hey
AP.
man, hey.
That's fine.
I feel like Shogoth is an AP champion.
Yeah, Rod of Ages and 5 tank items, AP build.
It is. He does magic damage.
All right, okay. Oh, so that means every build is AD or AP. That means there isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's my point.
So wait, are you asking me if he was gonna go AP Gragas instead of AD?
No, as instead of tank.
Because we see dead Robofox here.
No. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm saying like he's either gonna Echo or Cinderhulk.
I mean, it's all AP Gragas, so it really doesn't matter.
No. So he wants tank Gragas.
Okay, so the requirements for building tank are all 6 of your items cannot give any AD or AP.
Yes.
Gotcha.
A la Scion, who is now 0-0-1 with a 5 CS lead, by the way. And wow, trading extremely well on into Rebel Fox.
Yeah, trading into him with the damage off the Corrupting Potion as he picks off that passive to deal a little bit of extra damage during that, alongside the, just base damage of Scion being Scion, is really a little more than the Robofox to deal with on that level disadvantage there.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Harbinger play a tank this game, and he's still just utterly out-trading his lane opponent when he was kind of smashing him when it came to the Aurelia and the Kled. It looks like he doesn't really need the champion to be able to win the lane too hard. And you're right, Azizi did pick up a really, really early kill as we were kind of debating the merits of various builds, which is going to set him out pretty well. And does not look like it's Corrupting Potions. He's picking up a Blasting Wand as his first back item, which is going to be pretty scary for the side of Songus. But what's scarier is Hottie Williams walking into your ADC, but what's even scarier is a canceled teleport from Harbinger, as everybody walks away with literally nothing burned except for a flash from Sword and the TP stopped by Harbinger.
I'll take Sword's flash.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty good gank. I think all he used was Predator, right?
Yeah, I would say he just did Predator body slam for it. So I would say at the end of the day, counting enemy summoner spells as part of your success in the gank is totally valid.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Especially if Zayfrey is going to walk in AS again. Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's a totally good. I mean, that's TP. I mean, it can't cancel TP, so it's not 6 minutes, but TP and a root onto the side of JS for Penguin. Here comes the first ultimate out of Song List, but a nice knockback, and it's too much for Azizi. Ignite is going to pop him without even any help from the side of Holly Williams. Who needs it? You mentioned that Song List had a pretty strong Ahri. He's showing it so far right now. Let's see if he can keep the pressure up, as it's a 1-to-1 basically in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, the power there that came from Songless was really him not rotating as quickly over to, the dead Rebel Fox as Azizi found that kill. Songless was still picking up experience in the mid lane, so he was able to immediately hit that 6 and get Azizi to a point where the moment he hit 6, he was able to go in and make the follow-up. So Azizi was not level 6 to answer there.
Yeah, at this point, Songus is almost a full level up on Azizi, and that does not feel good when you're supposed to be hitting all as the Syndra to pick up the kill. Trading back and forth in the top lane, trading back and forth in the bot lane. Sword and GX Penguin are so far pushed up this game. They really don't care, even though Hottie Williams did burn the flash of Sword earlier. They're just pushing. Early Cole, I guess, was picked up by a back from Sword that I only just noticed. Maybe he started with Cole if he's at 50.
He did not.
Wow, he must have been very early.
Yeah, he must have got it at 19 CS because it might be 1943. He's 43 deep into the core.
Yeah. Wow, I don't remember him getting back. Ooh, nice barrel coming out of Hottie Williams. Another kill picked up for Songless. This might be a little bit scarier for Azizi than he probably originally intended. Wow, that was just a great explosive cast.
That was a nice use of the Predator by Hottie Williams to be able to move himself way ahead of Azizi to set himself up to get the position. And you talked about that. That's nice, avenues of engage for Gragas, to go off that Predator. You can get the Predator body slam, or you can go way forward to get the Predator into the ultimate setup.
Yeah, I mean, if you can just walk into someone when they don't have...
Right.
It becomes kind of scary. So long as you didn't even have to use his ult there, actually. He just chilled that whole time. That's a 2, or I guess technically if you count Hottie Williams backing up Songless on a solo kill, that's really 3 very, very strong ganks coming out of this Gragas. Just a couple minutes into the game. Let's see if you have to keep up the pace, as Zayfrey has not really been able to respond too much outside of, well, I guess Rebel Fox being caught out counts, and a KS in bot lane kind of counts as a gank, I guess.
He was there.
I mean, he was there, and he has the kill credit. I'm just not really sure how much of the kill was his credit.
At the end of the day, that is all that matters.
That's true. I mean, if you ask my solo queue teammates, it's definitely the kill that matters and not how it got there. Level 6 is out for Royal, though. Might look for an engagement here pretty soon, but Jacer Penguin does have the Glacial Fissure that can go out at any moment. We saw him hit ult after ult after ult of Leona. I just hope he can still do the same thing with Braum. Although a completely different targetable version of the ult, it still a great engagement tool for him. He's a very engage-heavy support.
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely looking for Jacer Penguin to be very proactive on these ganks, and he so commonly is proactive on these finds on the Alistar, the Leona, and the Braum. The tanky picks that really facilitate his playstyle. And
Explosive Cast tried again, but Azizi did have flash, but that's a flash burn. That is another very successful gank coming out of Hottie Williams. I wish I could be that good.
I play a lot of Gragas support, so
I mean, that's 4 successful ganks in 10 minutes. I mean, that's a 1 game in solo queue. I don't play jungle though, so I guess I'm not too worried about my ganking skills. I kind of am a little bit disappointed he didn't return bot though. I will say that after hitting or stealing, I guess, the flash from Sword was utterly unpunished and has won a CS lead just by being Sword, basically. Even though he didn't have flash from like what, level 3 onwards. Not a lot of trading even coming out of just Royal and Skylancier themselves, let alone Hottie Williams coming in for the potential invade. Hopefully Songless picks up a blue buff here. See if you can get another solo kill onto Azizi. I want to say, wow, actually Harbinger's in the bot lane. Not see that. I was about to say, I want to say that's just an ultimate top lane, just to get himself back, instead of using his teleport. But he's trying to set something up, and it's going to make him burn his teleport nonetheless. That's a little bit of a weird decision from the pretty hard carrying top laner. Not sure if I like that.
I don't know. It was a bit of a heavy commit. Harbinger both spending his ultimate and spending his teleport. Not really, getting any crazy amount of value out of both as much as he wanted to. But,
there's the Chains of Corruptions onto Skylancier. He's probably going to pop in Sword. Sword hits these ultimates literally like it's an auto attack for him. But Hottie Williams does body bop on to Jace or Penguin, who saved the Glacial Fisher the whole time, actually. And Sword is still trying to return back here, but Jace Penguin is traded on to a lot of damage coming out of this Royal, who is hyper. Songless picks up a double kill. Actually, did not even see the first one go down. Incredibly well done. 4-0 on Songless all of a sudden. This is very, very strong. Why wasn't he playing Ari this entire series? He's been farming. He's just been farming an Orianna the whole series, and he's 4-0 in 12 minutes. That's actually incredible.
Yeah, like I said, the sets that I've seen Songless on Ari, he's performed, and I mean, he definitely knows how to get his way around on that champion who you move from the playstyle of Orianna where you just kind of relax and find your right ultimates, but Ari, you're send head first into the fray of fights, and it's a very explosive playstyle.
I'm sorry. Arrow reminds me so much of Optic Arrow in that he either just hard ints in laning phase and the game's over, or he is okay and equal in laning phase and then just ridiculously wins these team fights even though he's like 4 kills down.
Well, I mean, we saw that in the not last game. Well, yeah, honestly, we saw it in the last game. He was going relatively even. And I believe he even fell down a kill, but then he kind of had the right spacing in fights to, be in the right places and get things off that he needed to. So he's consistent in his, relative inconsistencies. I believe he's had a lot of issues between this game and last where he finds an opportune moment of aggression and goes a little bit too hard in, trusting nobody but himself to get something to happen. But
yeah. Oh, there's enough chains of corruption to hitting once again on Skylands here. Flash this time, and not a lot coming in. Wow, Royal does an incredible amount of damage. He might be able to break kill, not just yet. I think that wasn't a flash away from Sword. Glacial Fisher is committed. A lot of damage coming out of Royal right now. Royal doesn't really have to commit too much, does he? He doesn't have the ultimate, unfortunately. Can't pick up either of the kills. But Royal really hard won that 2v2.
Yeah, definitely. Royal putting on that top of that Storm Razor damage to the just the Cutlass working into the Blade of the Ruined King build on Sword. It's definitely showing the item advantage on his side as he's gonna run back there. He's sitting with now 1400 gold in his pocket, so I believe he'll build at least into the recurve bow, the item I could not think the name of, but
yeah, he has enough for Borg. But it is interesting that the arguably weaker item so cheap that you can still get an early fight and win pretty hard. I mean, if Bork was finished for Sword there, that would have been a double kill.
Yeah, that definitely would have worked out for him, and a lot easier, especially being able to find the flash from Skylands here. Also did a nice job of mitigating a lot of the damage that was heading his way after the Sword ultimate.
Yeah,
so,
but what if he had ignited and not flashed? That would have been an easy kill picked up for Royal. Thinking, yeah. You gotta be willing to sacrifice body, mind, and soul support to get your ADC ahead of the game.
We take that.
Yeah, that's the way that I think about supports.
I mean, I guess as a support player, I wholeheartedly disagree with you, but I let bygones be bygones, and I just want to see my AD carry win the game. And if it's going to be Sword on this Varus now as he finishes the Blade of the Ruined King to the side of Royal, then we hope to see a lot more of these fights to, look in one favor or the other. But the imposed threat of Songless now in this Ari still is very difficult for Sword to, reliably deal with here.
Yeah, that's 100% kill participation. I guess you call her an assassin. As Zayfrey wants to go into Royal, and a great Glacial Fisher is probably going to pick up this kill pretty easily for Zayfrey, fairly easily, I guess. It was the rest of the tick that goes off, and a re-engagement coming out of Hottie Williams. A nice explosive cast, going to turn this fight right around. actually a triple kill coming in, double kill coming in for Hottie Williams. I thought that Sword and Jace for Penguin were making it out, and it was just a trade for Zayfray. But a 2 for 3 comes out for the side of Furious Gents, and they're still up in gold, they're still up in kills, they're still up in turrets, and another first Mountain Drake.
More Mountain Drakes. Oh, make it stop. They can't get away from all the Mountain Drakes and all the, the advantages are really going to pour in on the side of Furious Gents, especially having Jinx for, Jinx with Mountain Drakes who, inherently has tons and tons of attack speed. And once you push down one tower, it gives you agency to absolutely go nuts on other towers. And it'll be really quickly mounting an advantage in their favor. And I'm going to go click over in this pit and see, hey, look, guess what the next dragon is? I bet you can't guess.
Yeah, I'm going to say Mountain Drake.
Good lord.
So this is the 11th, I think. That's been picked up tonight. Obviously, not in the series, but just all tonight. I think this is 11. I might have even lost track at this point.
We're at 5th game we've cast, and we're heading towards the 12th Mountain Drake of these nights.
That's kind of weird. But unfortunately, something that does do a lot of tower damage is the Rift that just kind of petered out in the mid lane. Still no brick picked up for the side of NFG. And it looks like, oh, that was a great pillar.
Wow.
Azizi might not even need the flash there. That was a beautiful pillar from Zayfray.
Yeah, so the pillar to cancel the body slam was really, really nice. Ooh.
Here comes Harbinger. He wants to start things up. A great knock up onto Skylands here. He's done. He doesn't have his flash. That might be the most of the engagement right now, but Hottie Williams is kind of stuck in a 2v1 here. Change of Corruption does damage. And it gets a kill there as Songless wants to turn this around. He gets the flash off, but Zayfray picks up the kill on Royal. Not enough damage coming out of Royal. Ooh, nice stun from Azizi. Probably going to turn things around on his Songless. Jacer Penguin surprisingly tanky this early into the game, and Arrow picks up his 4th kill of the game. An ace and a flash away from Arrow to keep him alive. People in chat think that I'm actually being serious about the support joke, which is hilarious to me. That's awesome. I don't even play in bot lane. I literally don't care about supports.
I do like the term becomes a Kappa. That is pretty good. However, on that note, that was a very nice pickup for the side. The Scion ultimate from Harbinger was absolutely beautiful to get on top of Skyland Seer and Royal. So you did not get to see Skyland Seer, utilize the karma to really get things to move around and get things to work in their favor to keep Royal out of there. But Royal was able to, flash away from there and get things going. But, it worked out pretty nicely for them. NFG definitely found a couple of nice pickups. Found their own Mountain Drake, so, the 12th Mountain Drake of the game did not also go into,
Whoa, that's a lot of damage.
Oh. So, let's talk about AP Gragas.
Hey, man, I just said AP Drag was about to see that. AP Dragus does a ton of damage.
It's 1 AP.
It doesn't matter.
All right. What? Yeah, I guess Cinderhulk Gragas wouldn't have got the kill there.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
He probably wouldn't have died in the 2v1 in Jays for Penguin Sword in the river, but he wouldn't have gotten the kill afterwards.
Right.
Right? Yeah, think about it, okay, man? AP Gragas. I hate it. I really hate it.
If that's AP Gragas and your idea of AP Gragas, then I build AP Gragas most games. So you know what?
Then I am really ashamed of you.
If single AP item into 5 tank items is AP in your eyes, then you are an interesting man. And I don't want to talk about this ever again. So we're gonna keep going.
All right, fine.
On top of that, we've seen the Renon's Hurricane get finished by Royal, so he's definitely gonna have a lot more power in team fights that are able to not, if he can dodge out these engages, if he's not gonna get found out by a Scion ultimate again, and he's gonna be able to get in this backline, that's a lot of damage that's gonna come out of this Jinx and these rockets coming out through non-bolts.
Did he have flash last fight?
Yeah, he did. He flashed out of the fight after the Scion ultimate and managed to.
Why didn't he flash the Scion ultimate to begin with?
It just happened.
Okay, no, I guess I just
couldn't tell you. I know it happened.
Because you're right, he didn't actually survive in that fight for a very long time for Harbinger just trying to gut him instantly. Gonna have to see how it goes. Explosive Cast might come in here. No, Zayfray's just really caught out, but it might be a return kill for Sword. Shutdown actually for Sword. He's 5-3 right now. That's a pretty scary Varus, who has been kind of up and down this game so far. Songless wants to pick him out. Ooh, the big scary rocket. Royal is just not enough damage. Wow, he actually survives, but does go down to
Wait, did he kill himself
JS for
on...
Penguin?
Never mind.
JS for Penguin picked up a kill.
I thought Royal killed himself on Harbinger's Thorn Mail.
I think it must have been Winter's Bite somewhere thrown in there randomly.
But regardless, we are definitely seeing FG is, crumbling a little bit to the side of NFG there. I mean, you saw Zayfrey manage to get into that, and even though he went down without really being able to get to Royal, it was Hottie Williams that ended up going down in kind of the 1-for-1. And the problem here is that Royal is finding it difficult to stay alive in these fights. You have the Scion, you have the Trundle, and now you have Sword even finding these chains of corruption off the back of these Braum ultimates, and I mean, it's rough. It's rough to be Royal in this spot and not just work behind your front line of Maokai, Gragas. Let Songless really kind of do its job and find some picks here. Royal is really playing a little bit too far up to, let his team do the work for him.
Yeah, it almost feels like Royal together are like maybe not certain that they were in the lead for a time there, especially with that those previous engagements, maybe just kind of being caught out in the mid lane by Harbinger, and then Hottie Williams completely started that fight that just backfired onto 3 or 4 of them that gave up actually about 3,000 gold with the 3 towers as well. I wonder if they just didn't realize that they were in an okay position. But that is a pretty tanky lineup. Harbinger has 2.5 items all of a sudden. And that's going to negate a lot of Royal that we were looking to do a lot of damage. And Sword, who has died a couple times, he's got 5 kills. He's got 2 items. He's got a QSS. He potentially has a Baron. There is vision. Well, I guess there's no vision with the pink ward, and they cleverly did not kill the ward as well, so no one knows that they're there. And this can be a completely uncontested Baron picked up at 23 minutes by NFG.
Yeah, that is definitely going to work in their favor, and that is a huge boon on what they wanted. And now they've got the ability to, shove up these lanes, get these side lanes, get a little bit more tower pressure. They're sitting on the 4-3 tower advantage now, and they're just kind of look to brutalize this lane. Harbinger not concerned with RoboFox at all.
Well, I was just about to say Harbinger has been consistently 2 or 3 levels above RoboFox by 20 minutes in the game. This entire series, it's been actually pretty impressive to see him play on 2 different carries and now a tank as a fight breaks out in the top lane. That's just way out of position for the bot lane. The great stun coming out of Azizi is just not enough. Sword and Jace for Penguin utterly caught out there with their pants on their ankles. As both of them go down, a lot of the Baron buff is going to be negated here. Sans the bot lane aggression from Harbinger, but this might be the only thing they get. A nice equalizer coming out of the side of Furious Gentz, and RoboFox still trying to trade into Harbinger. I feel like we've seen this tank fight a little bit tonight. Here comes Hottie Williams. Here comes the Kitties from Nature's Grass, and actually here comes the rest of the team, but Harbinger is gone. So is Zayfrey.
Yeah, they are. These extended fights are really, interesting to see, and I think that Furious Gentz is starting to, regain their footing here as they start to learn. And Hottie Williams definitely doing an incredible job on this Gragas, sitting at the 6-2 and 4 on his AP build as he's looking to, make the damage. And if he's able to find these clutch body slams and ultimates onto, Sword again, then removing him from the fight is really going to be a huge boon for this team. And that is definitely thinking forward. Of course, they're handing over more of these, objectives and advantages over to the side of NFG, so things are still, surmounting against them as we see, the gold lead is showing still the 6K lead in the favor of NFG, but Furious Gentz by no means is done showing signs of life in these team fights.
Well, it's Songless that I've been kind of relying on, I guess, for some time now. He got 4 kills in 12 minutes, and we haven't really seen him yet. But 4 kills on an army is still enough to take over a team fight. So I've been really hoping that he can really get in there sooner rather than later as the gold lead does mount further and further. Luckily, another Mountain Drake didn't get picked up. But 6k and 2 towers is definitely enough of a strength, or enough of the lead for NFG for the time being. So I do hope that Songless and crew can turn things around. You're right, Hottie Williams has really been there basically constantly. I mean, 10 of 12 kills. But his backup just hasn't been enough. The engagement happens on Harbinger. Harbinger's kind of out of position here. He's tanky, not that tanky. The Chains of Corruptions miss. The cats go out. Arrow thrown into the middle of no man's land. Or sword, excuse me. He does go down. And it looks like Royal trying to clean this up. Azizi picks up a kill on the Skylancer. Azizi picks up a double kill onto Songless and turns the fight around utterly. I was just saying that Songless needs to win these fights, but it's Azizi who turns everything around. It's Azizi who gets his 3rd kill. Well, Harbinger technically gets the kill, but Azizi gets his 3rd kill onto Holly Williams. A shutdown for the 5 and 2 now. Cinder all of a sudden, who hadn't really been doing a massive amount of damage until just now. Rebel Fox trying to turn things around, but he's just going to be sacrificed and aced for Zayfrey. The tower probably going to go down here. There's 4 seconds left on Skylancer. There's 10 seconds left on Songless. I'm not feeling a win just yet, but a pretty easy inhibitor should be the name of the game, supposedly, and it does go down.
I think that Furious Gents are really looking too hard into their, solo avenue of engage. They found Harbinger, which at this point doesn't mean a lot. You can't, without spending too many spells on him, you can't really make a strong pick on him to get him out of a fight. He will be able to get back and not have to worry about, the much tankier Scion than, having that health scaling shield, having, several items built in that already makes him way too tanky for him to just fall over off of being caught. And I think that the Gents maybe committed a bit more than they would have liked to that fight, and then it kind of just collapsed on them around multiple avenues. But even after they found a great pickoff on Sword. I mean, taking Sword out of that fight, but we've talked about that throughout this whole set. You take out one threat and you ignore another, then that threat just kind of rises up, depending on how much you committed to the first threat. And you saw Songless commit his ultimate to killing off Sword. You saw, Hottie Williams go in and this and that, and then Azizi just had, the avenue to find him, but
this time, Zayfrey is the one caught out as opposed to Harbinger. He's not nearly as tanky as Harbinger is, but we'll see if we get the kill, and it does go over the side of Royal. That's a much easier kill to pick up than Harbinger is, and no one around to return the favor. You're right, Sword did get picked out of the previous fight, but neither Sword nor Azizi was there to turn the fight around. And the engagement comes onto Harbinger. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. I think it's just Rebel Fox just trying as he might. Still 2 levels down, incredibly, against Harbinger. Is going to hold the tower for the time being, but it can't be very long. Chains of Corruptions and a big Glacial Fissure. That's 3 versus 2. Hottie Williams is kind of weak, though. Great flash away. Royal picks up a double kill. Has 3 kills in just a few seconds for Royal. He's equalized the kill score of Sword. I keep wanting to say Arrow on accident. He's got 3 items. I mean, that's a pretty scary hyper carry. Only 30 minutes into the game. If they keep getting caught out like this, all of a sudden Royal's going to take over the game as much as like he did in the first game rather, on Ash, when he ended up doing 1.3 thousand damage a minute by basically just waiting to 40 minutes and then winning. But I think we need to take a deep breath here. We're starting to get to the late game. Hopefully people won't get caught out as much. Hopefully there won't be as many, I wouldn't say explosive team fights as much as just kind of long-winded team fights. What is the kind of stepping stone that either of these teams need to take to win the game?
I think that if you're on the side of NFG right now that you've cracked open a lot more of these outer towers, these inner towers, you have the 6-3 advantage, you have the inhibitor, I think you're much more at leisure to, not really, you don't really have to force these fights is what I'm essentially getting at now, because you've seen multiple times that the Gents are able to respond on turn, or, maybe you do.
Maybe get a pick onto Hottie Williams. Unstoppable. As I'm starting to lose my voice here a little bit. But they're going to turn their focus onto the Baron. There is no smite left up for the side of Furious Gentz. That might have been the pickoff that they needed. I don't think anyone can really contest this Baron, and it is going to go up for free for the side of NFG.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look to pick up that Baron there, as they found the jungler there. Hottie Williams getting hit off by trying to pick up that ward, but I don't know. It's rougher now as we see another Baron come over to the side of NFG. As looking forward now, as they have these threads coming. I know Clumped is a team not sitting in a weird jungle corner. It's a lot harder for the Gents to really answer them. They don't really have an option for already make a pick here, and it's gonna get a little rough here. Rebel Fox.
Wow, here comes Rebel Fox. He wants to get way in there, buddy. Way in there. So Harbinger, but Harbinger's way tankier than Rebel Fox. Harbinger's still taking up so much as Zayfrey follows up to him. Picks up a kill on Hottie Whips. A huge stun coming out of Azizi. Azizi, the star mid laner, picks up the triple kill. He might get the quadra here. He does pick up the quadra. No Penta for you, no Penta this series, but that should be a 1 game for the side of NFG, a 2-1 victory. Well, they need some minions here, but I can't imagine the Furious Gentz. Well, actually, the inhibitor is going to respawn. That's really unfortunate. Let me amend my statement. They are going to rotate back to the top lane inhibitor. They should be able to take up the mid lane inhibitor. 17 seconds, 10 seconds on Rebel Fox. Harbinger's having fun with it. He ults in. That is going to be the game as the last Nexus turret goes down. A 2-1 victory for the side of NFG, but extremely hard fought against the Furious Gentz.
Absolutely, that was a back and forth. I mean, we're sitting here at the end of what was a 3-hour-long set for just back and forth struggles throughout the rest of this game, and it really showed adaptation from NFG to answer these continuous Furious Gentz comps that put out the constant threat in the front, having to deal with them, as well as giving yourself an ample amount of ability to both fight incoming threats, as well as having somebody that can, dispatch of these backline threats, to not have what happened in game 1 happen again with the Ashe, and not having anything that could feasibly get to the Ashe, adjusting in game 2 to, get the picks to move in their favor, and then moving here to game 3. And definitely working out a lot better for them. Lots of good performances across the board. Azizi coming up big on the Syndra, and really nicely played by the side of NFG, and Furious Gentz definitely showed way beyond regular signs of life in that set.
Okie dokie, Skyson. Who is the MVP?
Oh God! Whoa, what do I even wanna? So let me think back here. If I'm looking at it, I think I want to. So you gotta bounce some ideas off me, because I'm thinking in my head, it's somewhere between Jace or Penguin and Harbinger. So I'm gonna slide those two choices to you across the table, and you're gonna pick one.
Jace or Penguin.
All right, Jace or
Those
Penguin.
ults were insane.
Yeah, the Leona ultimates. Even in the game that they were behind, the Alistar play in game 2, just finding the openings for this team to really move forward and go through. It was definitely immaculate play from him.
Hey, Jay is for Penguin. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on being awarded the MVP of the series. How you feeling, buddy?
Great.
I would say you have to feel pretty great. We're sitting at the end of a 3-hour, block match, probably pretty late for most places. But how did it? I don't know. You were definitely the rock of a lot of these games on these support games. You got a tanky pick all 3 games in a row. Was that your game playing? Going through these 3 games where you've seen it so often from you that you take these tanky initiators. And a lot of the starts of fights really seem to come off your back. Is that just sort of the nature of the picks you enjoy, or is that sort of just a role you've taken up on this NFG team?
I mean, normally I do play a lot of like high engage, like those tanky supports to like start off fights, and like before they didn't put me on these picks, and like nowadays they're starting to put me on those picks because they like trust me a lot more, and been forcing a lot more plays, and like so some of them might be off. I don't know, it's winning games today.
So it's like it's a matter of people that are forcing plays, or it's just like it's not like you say, oh, we can start it right here, and then you go in and then have people follow. It's more of, hey, you should go for this.
Well, I mean, I know my limits on my champions, and like I know when is a good fight, when is a not good fight.
So take me through. I want to say take me through game one, but I don't know if I want to take me through game one. Take me through game one. So you're Leona, and you've picked up on this team fight that FG has thrown at you, and they have the Nocturne, the threat of the Nocturne constantly coming down on you, and you're constantly either on the side of either having to engage or protect on this Leona. So run me through kind of what it sounded like on your side, where you were, debating between, do I spend our engage here, or do we try to protect what we've got here?
I mean, for me, for that whole fight, all I did was try to ulti the black line and spend every rest of my kit just trying to get Nocturne off of Xayah. And like, it's kind of unfortunate, like, Nocturne just like one-shots it, one-shots her either way.
Right.
So primarily I just focused on just like, later on, just focused on just diving the back line. And it kind of like lost it in a sense.
No, so it was definitely difficult a lot for you. You saw a lot of the Galio too.
Yeah.
Picking between when do we force the full engage, or do we wait for them and then play the counter engage there? But
yeah, it was a really difficult series.
Yeah.
Let's do one more question.
Yeah.
Sure.
What you guys have?
Oh, I didn't have one. I thought you had a question.
Oh, okay. I just meant if you had one more.
No.
Just the
well,
standard one.
excellent. What's the standard one?
Do you have any shoutouts that you'd like to give?
Man, I was gonna say that.
Too bad.
I want to give it to Harv and ZZ. Yeah, they played really good. They're pretty consistent. ZZ kind of like screwed up game 3, but I mean, like, he picked it back up.
Well.
Give me MVP all the time, man. Saw me carrying Arrow.
There you go.
I find it hard not
I
to
see
give
it.
supports MVP.
Same. Extremely. Sports carry. Don't ever
No.
forget it.
Oh no, I definitely didn't forget it. The amount of, especially the supports in this series, game or league that play a lot of like engage heavy daddy kind of supports. They're after my heart and my loins. Well, James Penguin, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the MVP. Hope you have a good evening. Glad to have you. Very welcome, sir. Skyson, what do you have to say to our friends at home?
I don't have much. I'm glad that I got to be here for every single hour of both of these games. Both sets were very, very well fought, very interesting sets that came through. Shaped a lot of the landscape moving forward for all these teams playing tonight. So I'm glad that I got to be here and cast these.
I'm glad that you were with me for this 5-hour journey that we just ticked over to. The two of us have been casting alongside our production crew, Nick, for literally 5 hours as of this moment between 2 sets. Thank you all for tuning in. I know some of you have probably watched all 5 of these hours. So thank you very, very much. I hope you have a good evening, a good big thank you from the production crew at the Games XP Championship. Hope to see you guys again soon, particularly tomorrow, but just in general. Hit follow, hit subscribe, check out our Twitters, Facebooks, and all that stuff, and have a very merry evening.